Chapter 2202. Sister-in-law. Seeing that Jinju was about to decline, Shunpan put on a stern face and pretended to be angry. Second sister-in-law. If you continue to be like this, I'm going to get angry. I'm just giving you something, yet you don't accept it. It means you don't care about me as your sister-in-law. Since Shunpan said this, Jinju felt embarrassed to refuse again. All right then, sister-in-law. I'll accept it. Thank you. Shunpan patted Jinju's shoulder and acted very intimate with her. It's fine, second sister-in-law. You're welcome. It's just some snacks. Take them back and let second brother have taste. Jinju knew that Shunpan was afraid she wouldn't be able to accept it. No matter how cheap these pastries were, country people couldn't afford them. They cost at least a few hundred copper coins. Shunpan pulled Jinju into the room and chatted for a while before letting Jinju leave. After chatting for a while, Jinju felt that her sister-in-law's life in her in-law's house wasn't easy. After all, her sister-in-law was a young miss from a rich family, unlike her, who was just a country girl. Shunpan would suffer if she married into the countryside. When she left the room again, the ox cart parked in front of the courtyard had already left. Zhao Ping, and Qin Yuan had already gone back. At Zhao Yun's house, Zhao Yun wanted to ask Zhao Tianin what Zhao Ping had said to him, but Zhao Tianin didn't want to say. Seeing that Zhao Tianin was determined not to say anything, Zhao Yun was too embarrassed to ask. But when she saw Zhao Tianin's expression, she didn't need to think to know that it wasn't anything good. Tianin, if there's anything, you have to tell second sister. Don't keep it to yourself, okay? Zhao Tianin lowered his head and responded. His mood was a bit bad, so he turned and entered the room. Zhao Yun sighed slightly and didn't say anything else. At night, after Tian and Dao Du fell asleep, Zhao Yun finally found some time to drag her tired body to bed. In the past few days, because of Zhao Tianin's wedding, she had been very busy, and there were many things to do at home, so she felt very tired. As soon as his head landed on the bed, his eyelids immediately closed, and he almost fell asleep. Mu Yinfeng had been waiting for Zhao Yun for a long time. As soon as he saw Zhao Yun get on the bed, he immediately pressed on her. Yun, he whispered Zhao Yun's name, only to find that Zhao Yun had already fallen asleep. Mu Yinfeng was at a loss as to what to do with the hard thing below. He didn't know what to do with it. Yun, Mu Yinfeng patted Zhao Yun's body and continued to call out to her. Only then did Zhao Yun reply in a daze. What's wrong? Is it dawn? Oh, I want to sleep, but I can't get up. Let me sleep for a while. Looking at Zhao Yun's tiredness, even if there was a part of his body that urgently wanted to relieve, he resisted. He couldn't bear to do it to her. It's not dawn yet. Go to sleep, Mu Yinfeng said softly in Zhao Yun's ear. After listening to Mu Yinfeng's words, Zhao Yun fell asleep within a few seconds. Mu Yinfeng smiled helplessly and lay down beside Zhao Yun, wrapping one arm around Zhao Yun's waist. Hugging Zhao Yun to sleep, there's a kind of unspeakable peace of mind and also a kind of unspeakable happiness. Hey, Yun, I may have to leave in a few days, Mu Yinfeng muttered. Chapter 2203. The Emperor suddenly sent someone over with a letter. The contents of the letter mentioned the situation in the Great Zhou country. Although the Great Zhou country was peaceful, it was only flourishing on the surface. The situation in the court was not good, and not all the power was in the emperor's hands. The small countries on the border kept causing trouble, challenging the authority of the Great Zhou country. Although the Great Zhou country didn't put these small countries in their eyes, they could not deal with them. If the Great Zhou country continued to endure, it would make the court seem weak, and these small countries would cause more trouble. What they needed to do now was to control the situation in the court. This could be done slowly by the emperor. The other point was to send people to intimidate the small countries, making them not cause trouble as they wished. The person sent had to be someone the emperor trusted. If they succeeded in intimidating them, they could promote this person to a position in the court and let the emperor send him more of his trusted aides. The emperor's choice was Mu Yinfeng. Mu Yinfeng was not a civil official. He had some achievements in leading troops. He had read various military books and had been carefully taught by his previous great general master. Although he didn't participate in large battles, he did participate in some small battles before. Mu Yinfeng naturally knew that if the emperor wanted to arrange it, he couldn't reject it. Otherwise, it would make the emperor angry and cause trouble. He would leave Sun City and head to the border sooner or later. Once he went to take care of the war, he would be separated from Zhao Yin for a while. No one knew how long it would take to lead the troops to war. It could be as short as a few months or as long as a few years. He didn't want to be separated from Zhao Yin for this long. His wife and child were here. He couldn't leave them, but he had no other choice. He had to properly discuss this matter with Zhao Yin, but he was afraid that Zhao Yin would be sad when she heard that he was leaving. He hesitated on how to say it, holding it in for several days without saying anything. He planned on properly discussing it with Zhao Yin today, but he never thought that Zhao Yin would already be asleep. Forget it, forget it. If I don't talk about it today, I'll talk about it in the future. I'll let Zhao Yin have a good sleep. It just so happened that he was busy during this period of time, so he could accompany Zhao Yin for a period of time. When he left, presumably old Zhao's family would be more free, and Zhao Yin would not be so tired. Mu Yinfeng's face was pressed against Zhao Yin's back. Smelling the fresh fragrance of Zhao Yin's body, he was very relieved and slowly fell asleep. The next morning, Zhao Yin had to get up and go to Yang City to buy some things. In less than 2 days, Zhao Tianan would get married. A lot of things had to be prepared. Otherwise, they would be in a mess on that day. This time, Zhao Yin was preparing to go to town to buy some things she needed and inform her fifth uncle, old Zhao's, Zhao Wensheng's, family's happy event. Zhao Tianan's wedding was not the marriage of old Zhao's daughter. In order to show respect to Zhao Wensheng, it was necessary to invite Zhao Wensheng back to attend. However, Zhao Wensheng's relationship with Hu Chunhua and Zhao Baoshan was very strained, so he hadn't come back for a while. This time, Zhao Wensheng was invited to attend the third branch's happy event. It had nothing to do with the other old Zhao's family members. Zhao Yin had a good impression of her fifth uncle. If he was like Zhao Wenshui and Zhao Wenshi, she probably wouldn't have specially informed Zhao Tianan's wedding. Chapter 2204. Before she stepped out of the door, she saw Zhao Wenshui running over. It was the first time she had seen Zhao Wenshui get up so early. His second uncle was usually very lazy and would usually sleep very late. Sometimes he would even sleep until the sun was high up in the sky. The sun was so hot that he didn't even get up. It was really rare for him to get up so early in the morning. As soon as Zhao Wenshui saw Zhao Yin, he immediately went over with a smile and called out to Zhao Yin. Zhao Yin. Zhao Yin asked suspiciously, "Second uncle, why did you come to my house? Why are you here so early in the morning?" Zhao Wenshui chuckled and discussed with Zhao Yin in a flattering tone. "Yin, second uncle has something to trouble you with. I don't know if you are willing to." Zhao Yin refused without hesitation. "Second uncle, don't say any more." "I don't want to." Zhao Wenshui was slightly stunned. He didn't expect Zhao Yin to refuse so straightforwardly. He hadn't said anything yet, so why was Zhao Yin unwilling? "Yin, I haven't said anything yet." Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Yin with an aggrieved face, looking very sad. Zhao Yin was a little speechless. She didn't have to think about it. Zhao Wenshui definitely wouldn't say anything good. In that case, why didn't she let Zhao Wenshui say it? As long as Zhao Wenshui didn't say anything, she didn't have to do it. It would save her a lot of trouble. "Second uncle, then don't say anything. If there's nothing else, I'm leaving." Zhao Yin didn't give Zhao Wenshui a chance to speak and wanted to leave. Zhao Wenshui hurriedly stopped Zhao Yin. "Yin, I really have to trouble you with this matter. Please listen to me." Zhao Yin snappily replied, "I say, second uncle, if you have something to say, say it quickly. If you have fart, say it quickly. Don't hesitate to say it. It looks like you want to say it, but don't say it." Zhao Wenshui secretly cursed Zhao Yin for being vulgar, but he didn't dare to say anything. "Little girl Yin, it's actually not a big deal. I just want to ask if you can send me to the town. I want to find little girl Jing. However, there are only ox carts going to Yang City in our village. There are no ox carts going to town. You also know that second uncle's body isn't good. Our Shuelon village is still a long way from the town. If we walk there, your second uncle's body won't be able to bear it. That's why I thought of coming over to ask if you could send me your donkey. After Zhao Wenshui finished speaking, he looked pleadingly at Zhao Yun'er, afraid that Zhao Yun'er would refuse him. Zhao Yun'er frowned. Naturally, she was unwilling. However, Zhao Wenshui was lucky this time. She happened to be going to town. Otherwise, it would be impossible for her to personally send Zhao Wenshui over. When Zhao Wenshui saw that Zhao Yun'er was silent, he thought that Zhao Yun'er wouldn't agree to his request. He hurriedly said, "Yun'er, please help your second uncle. I really can't walk. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come over to trouble you. Yun'er, second uncle knows that you have a good heart. You definitely can't bear to see me walk over personally." Zhao Yun'er was very speechless. She beckoned Zhao Wenshui to get on the ox cart. "Okay, second uncle, come on up." Zhao Wenshui immediately jumped up happily. "Ah, Yun'er, you agree?" Zhao Yun'er replied in annoyance. "Second uncle, can you stop talking nonsense and be long-winded?" Seeing that Zhao Yun'er couldn't be bothered with him, Zhao Wenshui shut his mouth resentfully. Chapter 2205. Zhao Wenshui sat on Zhao Yun'er's donkey cart and happily headed towards the town. Zhao Yun'er's donkey cart had been modified, so it wasn't bumpy. Because there was a soft cushion under the cart, it was very comfortable. Compared to an ox cart, Zhao Yun'er's donkey cart was definitely a very comfortable tool for traveling. Although it couldn't be compared to a horse carriage, it was good enough for a country bumpkin. Zhao Wenshui had sat on an ox cart before, and he still remembered how crowded and bumpy it was. This time, sitting on Zhao Yun'er's donkey cart, Zhao Wenshui couldn't help but praise. "Lass, your family's donkey cart is really not bad. It's quite comfortable to sit on. In my opinion, it's not worse than those horse carriages. And your family's donkey looks pretty good too. Other donkeys run very slowly, but your family's donkey runs as if it's flying. Not bad, not bad." On one hand, Zhao Wenshui was praising him. On the other hand, he was also trying to flatter him. He thought that Zhao Yun would be happy to hear it, so he also chatted with Zhao Yun'er for a while. Otherwise, it would be really awkward for the two of them to sit opposite each other in the horse carriage. Who knew that Zhao Yun would reply with disdain, "Second uncle, can you sit properly and stop talking nonsense? Don't you find it annoying to be long-winded?" Zhao Wenshui felt wronged in his heart. How was he annoying? Couldn't he talk to Zhao Yun'er for a while? This wretched lass didn't care about him, an elder, at all. In any case, he was her second uncle, right? How could she treat him like this? Zhao Wenshui didn't dare to scold Zhao Yun'er, so he continued to say gently, "Yun'er, lass, there are only the two of us on this road. It's good to talk to each other to relieve the loneliness. Otherwise, won't you be bored if the two of us don't talk?" Zhao Yun'er pursed her lips and replied to Zhao Wenshui, "I'm not bored." "Yun'er, you're not bored, but I'm bored. Why don't you accompany second uncle for a few words? You see, us uncle and nephew don't usually have a chance to talk much. It just so happens that the road to the town is long. Let's have some fun. After we're done, we'll arrive at the town." Zhao Wenshui laughed mischievously with a sly smile. Zhao Yun'er rolled her eyes and scolded Zhao Wenshui unhappily. "Second uncle, we can't talk together. Just shut up. I want to be alone." Zhao Wenshui could no longer hold back the anger in his heart as he hooted, "I say, Yun'er girl, how can you be like this? Your second uncle only said a few words to you. How is that nonsense? How could a junior speak to an elder like that? Is this how your mother taught you? You have no manners at all. If my Jing was like this, I would have slapped her." Zhao Yun'er stared coldly at Zhao Wenshui. Her second uncle was a troublemaker. If she had known this would happen, she wouldn't have brought him along. Afraid that Zhao Wenshui would continue to nag, Zhao Yun'er simply threatened, "Second uncle, from now on, if you dare to say another word, I'll immediately throw you off my donkey cart. You can walk on your own." Zhao Wenshui's face immediately turned green when he heard this. He had to admit that Zhao Yun'er's threat scared him this time. There was still a long way to go. If she threw him off now, he probably wouldn't be able to climb to the town. His legs would definitely be crippled. Chapter 22:06. When they arrived at the bustling town, Zhao Wenshui then ingratiatingly whispered into Zhao Yun'er's ear, "Lass Yun'er, can you speak now?" Zhao Yun didn't utter a sound. She didn't agree, but she didn't object either. Zhao Wenshui mustered up his courage and said, "Lass Yun, send me back to the Zheng estate first. I'll go find Lass Jing. After I'm done looking for Lass Jing, you can come pick me up and take me back with you." Zhao Yun'er frowned. She disliked Zhao Wenshui for being so nosy. "Second uncle, I've already brought you here. Do you still want me to take you back to the village?" Judging from Zhao Yun'er's words, she didn't want to take Zhao Wenshui back. Zhao Wenshui was stunned. Then, he said with a bitter face, "Yun'er, if you don't take me back, who will? Anyway, you've already done your part and brought me to the town. You definitely have to give me a lift when you go back." Zhao Yun snorted and said unhappily, "But second uncle, that's not what you said before I brought you here. Yun'er, isn't it just an extra trip? It's not a big deal. Why are you so stingy that you don't want to take me back?" Zhao Yun inwardly scolded Zhao Wenshui for not having any self-awareness. The reason why she didn't want to take him back with her was that her second uncle was too annoying. If it were someone else, she wouldn't have such an attitude. "Second uncle, don't push your luck. There are some things that you have to stop before going too far. I don't know you anything. I brought you here because I wanted to, and I didn't bring you back because I didn't want to. What did you do to me?" Zhao Wenshui was instantly dumbfounded. What else could he say in the face of Zhao Yun'er's attitude? He couldn't say anything. "Lass Yun'er, it's second uncle's fault. How about this? You take me back. I'll give you 3 copper coins as the cost of today's trip." It would cost 3 copper coins to take an ox cart back and forth. Zhao Yun'er thought that Zhao Wenshui would give a few dozen copper coins. After all, he was basically renting the entire cart. Moreover, the cart was more comfortable than the ox cart, so the price would naturally be higher. The cart. But Zhao Wenshui actually only 3 copper coins. She wasn't arguing with Zhao Wenshui because she felt that the money was too little. She just felt that it was a matter of attitude. She's his ants antecessess. I'll send you to cousin Jing place. I still have other things to do. You can rent your own cart when you go back. You don't have to trouble me at all." Zhao Wenshui glanced at Zhao Yun'er's ugly expression. He wanted to say something, but Zhao Yun'er glared at him. He was so scared that he quickly shut his mouth. When they arrived at the Qian family, Zhao Yun left Zhao Wenshui behind. She turned around and went to the market to buy some things. After buying the things, Zhao Yun'er drove the ox cart to her 5th uncle Zhao Wenqing's residence. It wasn't easy for her to come here, so Zhao Yun'er bought some things. She brought some supplements such as red dates and cinnamon. She also brought some candies. Zhao Yun knew that her 5th uncle had many children at home. The children liked to eat candies. This was purely to satisfy the children. Zhao Yun still remembered the way, so she quickly found her 5th uncle's house. During this period of time, Zhao Wensheng didn't go back, but he was very used to living here. Zhao Yun heard the children playing in the courtyard from afar. They were very happy. Chapter 22:07. However, when his 5th uncle saw it, he rushed out of the house in a hurry and went to Jin Suijuan, snatching the things in her hands. I'll do it. Just leave these things to me. I've already told you many times that you don't have to be so busy. Your health is more important now. Why are you so disobedient?" Zhao Wenqing looked concerned and nervous. Jin Suijuan smiled and shook her head. "It's okay. Don't be too nervous. It's just a little work. I can do it. It's not like before. You're pregnant. What if you affect the baby by doing this and that? Just leave all the big and small things in the house to me and let me do it." "You can't do it." Jin Suijuan looked at Zhao Wenqing's overly nervous appearance and found it funny. At the same time, she felt warm in her heart. The more nervous Zhao Wensheng was, the more he cared about her. It was rare for a man to be like this. Her previous men didn't care about her so much. None of the women she knew had men like Zhao Wensheng. After all, The status of women in this era was very low. Even if they were pregnant with a big belly, as long as the man didn't care, the woman still had to work in the fields. When she was pregnant with her previous children, which one of them didn't have to work before giving birth? Now that she was less than 2 months pregnant, Zhao Wensheng didn't let her do this and that. He was too nervous and precious. A sweet and happy smile appeared on Jin Suizhuan's lips. She replied to Zhao Wensheng, "It's okay. These small things won't affect the baby. I used to be able to carry a big belly and do heavier work without any problems. After being pregnant, I can't sit for a long time. It's not good for the baby in the belly. Moreover, it's more difficult to give birth. I can move my muscles by doing small things. It's good for the baby and me." However, Zhao Wensheng said stubbornly, "That won't do. The past is the past. This is the present. If I tell you not to do these work, you can't do it. If you feel that you can't sit for a long time, then walk in the yard. Anyway, you can't do these work." As Zhao Wensheng spoke, he had already taken the work from Jin Suizhuan. Seeing Zhao Wensheng like this, Jin Suizhuan's face was full of helplessness, but she could only let Zhao Wensheng do it. Since marrying Zhao Wensheng, Jin Suizhuan had experienced a kind of happiness that she had never experienced before. She had suffered for so long with a child alone. She didn't expect that she would meet a man who was so considerate and loved her. Now it seemed that Zhao Wensheng was the happiness that the heavens. Jin Suizhuan couldn't dissuade Zhao Wensheng, so she could only watch Zhao Wensheng work while she stood aside. The children at home were still running around in the yard. Zhao Wensheng was afraid that these children would accidentally hurt Jin Suizhuan. "Big girl, run slower. Don't accidentally bump into your mother. Your mother is pregnant with a little brother," Zhao Wensheng warned. The girl nodded sensibly. Yes, yes. Daddy, I know. I'll be careful. I won't touch my mother." Be it because Zhao. With regards to Zhao Wensheng, this daddy, the big girl, accepted him very easily. Of course, she treated Zhang Wensheng as her own father and listened to Zhao Wensheng's words. Chapter 22:08. The girl grinned. The smile on the 3-year-old child's face was very pure, similar to Daodu's smile. Zhao Yun looked from afar, and her mood brightened. A smile hung on the corner of her mouth. Jin Suizhuan patted the girl's head and said to her, "Girl, take your friends to other places to play. This courtyard is a bit small, so it's not convenient to run around." The girl nodded heavily. "Okay, mother." Just as the girl was about to leave the courtyard, she saw Zhao Yun sitting on the donkey cart outside the courtyard. Because she had seen Zhao Yun before, the little girl's memory was very good. She actually remembered her. "Aunt Yun, you're here?" The girl sweetly called out. Zhao Yun also smiled and got down from the donkey cart, carrying something in her hand. Zhao Wenhua and Jin Suizhuan only then noticed Zhao Yun's arrival. Zhao Wensheng was a bit surprised because he hadn't interacted with old Zhao's family for a long time. He didn't expect Zhao Yun to suddenly come over without greeting him. "Yun, girl, why are you here?" Zhao Wensheng greeted and asked curiously. Zhao Yun smiled. "What's wrong, fifth uncle? Can't I come over to see you?" Zhao Wensheng hurriedly waved his hand. "Of course you can. Fifth uncle is just a bit excited to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. Quickly come in and sit. Don't stand in the courtyard." As he spoke, Zhao Wensheng welcomed Zhao Yun into the house. Jin Suizhuan was also very polite behind Zhao Wensheng. She said to Zhao Yun, "Yes, quickly come in and sit. I'll get you a cup of water. It's so early in the morning and the water hasn't been filled." Jin Suizhuan hurriedly walked into the kitchen. Zhao Yun said, "Fifth aunt, there's no need to trouble yourself. I'm not thirsty. You don't have to trouble yourself." Just listening to the conversation between Zhao Yun and Jin Suizhuan, Zhao Yun knew that Jin Suizhuan was pregnant. Although it was inconvenient for this pregnant woman to move around, she wouldn't stay for long anyway. Naturally, there was no need for Jin Suizhuan to specially pour a glass of water for her. Jin Suizhuan insisted, Yes, it's not troublesome for me to get a pot of water. It was already boiling when I was cooking this morning. Now I just have to go and pack it up." Zhao Wensheng said from the side. "Yunner, just let her go. Zhao Yun'er just let Jean Suizhuan go. When they entered the house, Zhao Yun'er put down the things in her hands and said to Zhao Wensheng, "Fifth uncle, it's not easy for you to come here. These are some supplements I bought for fifth aunt. She can eat them to nourish her body." When Zhao Wensheng saw the good things on the table, he naturally felt embarrassed to accept them. Yun'er, you're really too much. These things are very expensive. Why did you bring so many of them over all of a sudden? You better take them back. Then, you or your mother can eat them to nourish their bodies. Your fifth aunt doesn't need them. While Zhao Wensheng was speaking, Jean Suizhuan had already come in with a kettle. When she saw the good things on the table, she hurriedly said, "Yes, these things are too expensive. Yun'er, your fifth uncle, and I appreciate your kindness. We can't accept these things. You better take them back." Zhao Yun'er's face was stiff, and she seemed a little unhappy. "Fifth uncle, fifth aunt, I specially bought these things for you. How can we not accept them? Don't talk about how expensive they are. We're family. How can we be so calculative?" Chapter 2209. But this is really too expensive. Jean Suizhuan looked conflicted. If it was really cheap, she might accept it. If it was really too expensive, she always felt that she was taking advantage of others. She had always been a person who didn't like to take advantage of others. Zhao Yun'er insisted, "Okay, fifth uncle, fifth aunt, you really don't have to be polite with me. I only come here once in a few hundred years, and I don't bring you these every time I come. Fifth uncle used to treat me well. As a junior, I should be filial to you, right?" Zhao Yun'er looked at the conflicted faces of the two and felt a little helpless. If these good things were sent to the first and second branch, she probably didn't have to say anything. The two of them would happily accept it. However, when it came to Zhao Wensheng, the husband and wife didn't like to take advantage of others. They would refuse to accept even the slightest good thing. "Fifth uncle, it's okay if you don't eat these things, but if you give them to fifth aunt to eat, it's really good for her health. I think fifth aunt's complexion doesn't look very good, so she needs to eat more longan and red dates to replenish her complexion." Zhao Wensheng was a little moved when he heard this. Indeed, as Zhao Yun'er said, it was okay if he didn't eat it himself. Now that Jean Suizhuan was pregnant, she needed to nourish her body. He didn't earn much money himself. Most of the time, the monthly allowance given by the academy was used to buy books. Of course, this was under Jean Suizhuan's insistence and support. After buying those books, his life naturally became a lot more difficult. Basically, he couldn't take out the money to buy those good things for Jean Suizhuan to nourish her body. After hearing Zhao Yun'er's words, Zhao Wensheng glanced at Jean Suizhuan's complexion. It was good to nourish her body. If he continued to refuse, Jean Suizhuan would only be the one who suffered. Zhao Wensheng looked at Zhao Yun'er and nodded in response. "Okay, Yun'er, fifth uncle will accept these things. You're too filial. Fifth uncle will remember your kindness in the future." Zhao Yun'er smiled slightly. "Fifth uncle, you're an elder, so it's right." Jean Suizhuan was a little embarrassed as she tugged at Zhao Wensheng's clothes, indicating that Zhao Wensheng shouldn't say it. Zhao Wensheng winked at Jean Suizhuan and whispered something in her ear. "Since it's Yun'er's filial piety, let's accept it, lest we let her down. Later, you can take these things and stew them to nourish your body. Sai, now that you're pregnant, you have to take good care of yourself. You can't suffer, and you can't let the child in your belly suffer." When Jean Suizhuan saw the concern and affection in Zhao Wensheng's eyes, she felt a sense of happiness. This time, she obeyed Zhao Wensheng's arrangement and accepted Zhao Yun'er's gift. When the girl saw that there were guests, she was very happy. Zhao Yun'er took out the candies and handed them to the girl. She said to the girl, "Come, big girl, this is what Aunt Yin specially brought for you." "I didn't forget, big girl." When the girl saw the candies in Zhao Yun'er's hands, her eyes lit up. It could be seen that the girl was very excited and happy. However, the girl was a very sensible child. Usually, she wouldn't go in to take things that others gave her, even if it was something she liked. She would first get Jean Suizhuan's consent. Only when Jean Suizhuan nodded would she reach out to take it. Chapter 22:10. Zhao Yin'er was afraid that Jin Sujuan wouldn't let the girl eat it. So she said, "Fifth aunt, it's just a little candy. It's not worth much. Let the girl eat it." Jin Sujuan looked at the girl's greedy expression and felt a little heartache. Coupled with Zhao Yin'er's words, she nodded at the girl. Seeing that Jin Sujuan agreed, the girl shyly took the candy from Zhao Yun'er's hand. Jin Sujuan patted the girl's head and said, "Hurry up and say thank you." The girl's mouth revealed a sweet smile. Her smile was like the morning sun in spring, very infectious. "Aunt Yin, thank you." It could be seen that the girl was well educated by Jin Sujuan. Children who were a few years old basically relied on their parents to educate them. Children who were well educated by their parents would be good. If their parents didn't teach them well, those naughty children would appear. Just like old Zhao's second branch. Her cousin, Zhao Tianyu, had been doted on by Li Chuiying and influenced by Zhao Wenshui's behavior. He became arrogant and domineering. He didn't listen to reason at all and was a complete naughty child. This kind of child liked to stir up trouble, and no one liked her no matter where she went. Unlike the girl, who was so polite and sensible that everyone loved her. Even if they wanted to hate her, they couldn't. Zhao Yun shook her head and smiled as she replied, "You're welcome." The girl had already happily opened the candy wrapper and stuffed it into her mouth. The sweet taste overflowed her mouth and filled her entire heart. Sure enough, the less a child got, the easier it was to be satisfied. Just like a long time ago, Dowdo was also very excited when he saw candy. Now that he had eaten a lot of candy, he naturally didn't care much about it. Zhao Yun looked at Zhao Wensheng and Jin Sujuan and asked with concern, "I just heard from fifth uncle that fifth aunt is pregnant." Zhao Wensheng's face instantly turned red. He replied to Zhao Yun a little embarrassedly, "Yes, she's pregnant. Your fifth aunt is now 2 months pregnant." Jin Sujuan also seemed a little embarrassed. She stood beside Zhao Wensheng with her head lowered. Zhao Wensheng was shy and excited to be a father for the first time. Although Jin Sujuan had given birth before, this was her and Zhao Wensheng's child. The meaning was very different. Both of them cherished the child in their stomach very much, just as they cherished this happiness. This child was the fruit of their love, and its arrival meant that their love had borne fruit. Zhao Yun smiled and said, "Then I really have to congratulate fifth uncle and fifth aunt. Time really flies. In the blink of an eye, even fifth aunt is pregnant. If my parents heard about it, they would definitely be happy." Speaking, old Zhao's family's family situation. He didn't know the family's family'd have families. ETS it wasn't that he didn't want to go back, but for Jin Sujuan, he had no choice but to not go back. Based on his understanding of Hua Chunhua, bringing Jin Sujuan back to old Zhao's family would only make Jin Sujuan feel wronged. Even if Jin Sujuan was pregnant and their family's fifth branch had an heir, Zhao Wensheng never brought this news back. Your father, your mother, your grandparents, uncles, and aunts, are they all okay?" Zhao Wensheng knew that Zhao Wensheng was still concerned about old Zhao's family situation, so he said with a smile, "They're all fine. A lot of things have happened during this time." Chapter 22:11. For example, Zhao Ping, Zhao Jing, and Zhao Xinhui were all married. Although Zhao Xinhui was divorced later on, she was still married after all. Of course, there was also Zhao Tianyu's marriage and Zhao Wenshui's and Li Chuiying's divorce. Zhao Wensheng couldn't help but sigh when he heard that. It turned out that so many big things had happened in old Zhao's family in just a few months. If he hadn't heard Zhao Yun'er's words, he really wouldn't have imagined it. After Zhao Yun'er finished speaking, Zhao Wensheng couldn't help but sigh. "It's only been a few months, but it feels like things have changed." Zhao Yun'er chuckled. "Yes, a lot of things have happened during this period of time. But fifth uncle, if you have time, it's okay to go back and take a look. At most, you could just ignore what my grandfather and grandmother say." Zhao Wensheng nodded. "Okay, fifth uncle, if you have time, go back and take a look." If he didn't go back, he felt that home was no longer home. The place he had stayed for many years had become strangely unfamiliar. Yin'er, do you have anything else to do this time? Zhao Yun'er nodded. My brother Tianan is going to get married. This time, I specially came to Fifth Uncle's place to tell Fifth Uncle. When Tianan gets married, if you and Fifth Aunt have time, you can go and attend. Zhao Wenxing heard that Zhao Tianan was getting married. Although Zhao Tianan was still young, he didn't expect it to be so soon. Okay. Fifth Uncle definitely won't miss Tianan's wedding. What day is it? Tell me, and I'll bring your fifth aunt over. It was just right that he used this as an excuse to go back to his hometown. He only hoped that his parents wouldn't say anything for the sake of the child in Jean Suizhuan's belly. After all, he and Jean Suizhuan were already living together. It was completely meaningless to be picky. Zhao Yun told him the date, which was a few days later. Zhao Wensheng also agreed to go. Zhao Yun'er chatted with the fifth branch for a while, but did not stay for long. Instead, she got up. As for Zhao Wenshui, Zhao Yun didn't want to pay attention to him. That second uncle of hers was really annoying. If she brought him back, it would only add to her troubles. She might as well let Zhao Wenshui fend for himself. Zhao Yun'er drove Xiao Mao back to the village leisurely, but they still had to pass by the Zheng family's courtyard on the way back. When Zhao Yun'er passed by, she saw Zhao Wenshui being thrown out. The person who threw Zhao Wenshui was a servant of the Zheng family. Zhao Yun'er was stunned. Didn't Zhao Wenshui go to find Zhao Jing? After all, Zhao Wenshui was Zhao Jing's father. How could he be thrown out so casually? The way the Zheng family treated Zhao Wenshui obviously showed that they didn't take Zhao Jing seriously. At that time, young Master Zheng accompanied Zhao Jing back to her parents' home. It seemed that he treated Zhao Jing well, but now it was obvious that he was just doing it to save face. In fact, Zhao Jing was just a concubine, a tool to give birth to a child. Her status in the Zheng family wasn't high. She was just a country girl. The Zheng family didn't take her seriously at all. However, Zhao Yun was curious about what Zhao Wenshui had done to be thrown out by the Zheng family. It should be something that angered the Zheng family. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so extreme. With Zhao Yun'er's understanding of Zhao Wenshui, this second uncle of hers was indeed capable of doing anything. Chapter 22:12. If she hadn't brought him along, none of this would have happened. After Zhao Wenshui was thrown out, young Master Zheng also walked out of the Zheng family's mansion and said to Zhao Wenshui, who was on the ground, in a low voice, "Although you're my father-in-law, I will respect you for Jinger's sake. However, I won't allow you to fool around and take whatever you want from the Zheng family. When you married Jing, the Zheng family already gave you enough money as a wedding gift. Now you continue to make a fuss about money. Do you take us for fools? No matter how rich the Zheng family is, we won't give it away for free." Zhao Wenshui was sprawled on the ground. He had been thrown quite badly by the Zheng family servants. His body was already injured, so how could he withstand such torment? Now that he was about to be thrown to the ground, he grimaced in pain and couldn't get up. Zhao Yun stopped and watched quietly from a distance. The commotion caused by the Zheng family also attracted passers-by to stop and watch the show. Zhao Wenshui groaned on the ground. When he saw people coming over, Zhao Wenshui immediately pretended to be pitiful and cried, "Help, help. Everyone, help me. I'm about to be beaten to death by my son-in-law. Everyone, look, whose son-in-law would beat up his father-in-law like this. Isn't the Zheng family just rich? Everyone, look at this. Is this human nature?" Zhao Wenshui had become smarter. He knew that if he said this in front of everyone, the Zheng family wouldn't dare to do anything to him in order to save face. After hearing Zhao Wenshui's words, the onlookers started chattering. What's going on? What happened? This person says that he's young Master Zheng's father-in-law, but he's acting like this. Is the Zheng family really going to marry such a person? I don't think so. How can they have such a father-in-law when they're well-matched in terms of social status? I don't think so either. This person is just making things up, right? Hearing these people's discussion, Zhao Wenshui hurriedly said, "Everyone, this is really my son-in-law. I'm not lying. If you don't believe me, ask him." Young Master Zhang's face darkened. He glanced at Zhao Wenshui and became even angrier at Zhao Wenshui. It seemed like he was being too polite by throwing him out of the Zheng clan's residence. This kind of person should be beaten up and taught a good lesson. It was then that Zhao Jing'er rushed out. Seeing Zhao Wenshui on the ground, her heart ached. But when she thought about what Zhao Wenshui had done to her, Zhao Jing'er blamed Zhao Wenshui. She had already rejected Zhao Wenshui's offer of money, but who knew that he would directly come to the Zheng family and ask for 100 taels of silver? When she married into the Zheng family, she didn't receive a lot of money every month. It wasn't even 100 taels of silver. After she rejected his offer, Zhao Wenshui thought that she was doing it on purpose and went to look for young Master Zheng. When young Master Zheng expressed his rejection, Zhao Wenshui was very angry. He felt that, as his father-in-law, he only came to ask young Master Zheng for 100 taels of silver. The Zheng family was so rich, but they refused to give it to him. Zhao Wenshui made a scene at the Zheng residence, saying that if the Zheng family didn't give him the money, he wouldn't go back and would continue to stay at the Zheng residence. This behavior annoyed and angered the Zheng family, and she was also scolded by the Zheng family. Chapter 22:13. If she really ended up like that one day, it would be her father's fault. Thinking about it, her father was really too much. Not only did he force her mother away, but now he was making trouble for her. He was someone who didn't want to live a good life. Why was it that other people's fathers were quite good, but she had such a father? Putting away the anger in her heart, Zhao Jing'er looked at Zhao Wenshui with some resentment. Zhao Wenshui also saw Zhao Jing'er, so he reached out to greet her. Jing'er, do you pity your father? Look at what your man has done to your father. Zhao Jing'er looked at Zhao Wenshui, then looked at the gloomy young Master Zheng. Taking a deep breath, she said coldly to Zhao Wenshui, "Father, don't make trouble here. Today you came here and asked for 100 taels of silver. I really can't give it to you. Also, I'm just a concubine of the Zheng family. The Zheng family was very considerate to me back then and gave me a lot of betrothal gifts. How can you ask for so much money from them now? It's not easy for anyone these days. Even if you have money, you can't afford to waste it. Aren't you no different from a scoundrel today?" Zhao Jing'er said with a frown. "Jing'er, how can you talk about your father like that? You've only been married for a few days, and you've already forgotten your real father?" Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Jing'er angrily. He originally thought that his daughter would feel sorry for him, but now, not only did his daughter ignore him, she even spoke up for her in-laws. He was the one who was beaten, now his bones were broken, and he couldn't even get up. The more Zhao Wenshui thought about it, the sadder he felt. All the grievances he had suffered these days suddenly exploded. Zhao Jing'er also felt very wronged. Her eyes were red as she said, "Father, I'm on the side of reason, not family. Don't pester endlessly, unless you don't want your daughter to live a good life." Young Master Zheng's face was sullen. For the Zheng family's reputation, he clarified in front of so many people. "Our Zheng clan will treat father-in-law with respect, but we won't be polite to a scoundrel. When I married Jing-er as my concubine, I gave her enough betrothal gifts. It can be said that the Zheng family spends more money on a concubine than other families. Now that you're asking for money from the Zheng family, it's our duty to give it to you. But you keep talking about 100 taels of silver. Forgive us, Zheng family, for not doing charity. If you don't keep thinking about causing trouble, the servants of the Zheng family are not raised for nothing." After the onlookers heard these words, they more or less understood what had happened. It turned out that it was just the concubine's biological father who came to ask for money, asking for 100 taels. It was no wonder that the Zheng family would be angry. The onlookers criticized Zhao Wenshui for his shameless behavior. Isn't marrying your daughter off to be a concubine the same as selling your daughter off? They've already given you a betrothal gift. How can this person have the nerve to come and ask for money? He's so thick-skinned to ask for 100 taels of silver. This 100 taels of silver is enough to buy a few girls. Isn't that so? Even if the Zheng family is rich, they won't be able to withstand such torment. They gave him 100 taels of silver this time. Who knows? He might come again next time. You can't be too accommodating for thick-skinned people. The more accommodating you are, the more unscrupulous they will be. Sai, what kind of person is this? Young Master Zheng is right. They give it to you out of kindness, but it's our duty not to give it. Since he said he won't give it, then he can't cause trouble in the Zheng family? Chapter 22:14. Haha, he's too embarrassed to reprimand young Master Zheng. Don't embarrass yourself here. Young Master Zheng is too polite. If it were me, I would have thrown him far away to prevent him from shouting at the door. It's so annoying. Zhao Wenshui was dumbfounded when he heard the people around him criticizing him. He thought that his miserable appearance would attract the sympathy of the crowd. This way, he could use the crowd to pressure young Master Zheng, so that the Zheng family would have no choice but to fork out the 100 taels of silver. However, instead of criticizing young Master Zheng, they started criticizing him one by one. These people's words were abnormally unpleasant. Although Zhao Wenshui was thick-skinned, he could not withstand the abuse of so many people. But if he were to leave just like that, not only would he not receive any benefits, but he would also be injured all over his body. He was not willing to accept this. Zhao Wenshui did not comment on the criticism of the people around him. Instead, he pulled a long face and started shouting on the ground. You hit me. You're being unreasonable. You hurt me so badly. Even if you don't give me 100 taels of silver, you should at least give me some money for medical expenses and nourishment, right? Now, he wanted as much as he could. It was better than not receiving any money at all. The crowd looked at Zhao Wenshui's ruffian behavior. Other than feeling ashamed, they could not do anything to him. Young Master Zheng's face darkened. It was obvious that he was unwilling to pay. Zhao Wenshui continued to cry and make a scene. If you don't pay for my medical expenses, I'll stay at the entrance of the Zheng family's house and not leave. If you provoke me, I'll sue you to the authorities. If the authorities handle it, you'll get into trouble too. Young Master Zheng could not help but sneer when he heard Zhao Wenshui's words. Indeed, one could not reason with such a shameless person. How dare he threaten him now? The Zheng family was not to be trifled with. Young Master Zheng ordered his subordinates, throw him away. Don't let him stay at the entrance of the Zheng family's house. Throw him out when he crawls over here. The servants of the Zheng family responded. They walked to Zhao Wenshui and lifted Zhao Wenshui up. Zhao Wenshui and the others were stunned. Seeing that these people had lifted him up, he struggled a few times. Unfortunately, his injured body was no match for the tall and strong servants of the Zheng family. He could not break free at all and could only let these servants carry him away. Zhao Wenshui shouted at Zhao Jing. Jinger, save your father. Jinger, you can't watch your father die, can you? I raised you single-handedly. No matter what, I'm still your father. You can't just ignore me, right? Looking at Zhao Wenshui's pitiful appearance, Zhao Jinger's heart ached, but she also felt that she had to be ruthless. Otherwise, Zhao Wenshui's actions would definitely implicate her, and she might be chased away by the Zheng family. She was already married. Once she was chased away by the Zheng family, what should she do? Facing young Zheng Wenshui, Zhao Wenshui was carried far away, and the people who were watching the show also dispersed. Zhao Jing sighed. She glanced in the direction where Zhao Wenshui was carried away and turned to enter the Zheng family's house. Her behavior had already told others. She would not care about Zhao Wenshui's father anymore. Young Master Zheng hid the displeasure in his eyes. He flicked his sleeves and snorted. Then, he turned and entered the Zheng family's house. Chapter 22:15. Her second uncle was too shameless. How could he do such a thing? His daughter was married. According to the ancient customs, he shouldn't ask his daughter for money unless she was willing to give it to him. Zhao Yun knew that although Zhao Jing seemed to have married well, she was just a concubine to the Zheng family. How could a concubine have any say in the family? Young Master Zheng was indeed polite to Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Yun couldn't help but sympathize with Zhao Jing. What kind of father did she have? He was completely cheating his own daughter. If her father was like this, Zhao Yun would have cut ties with Zhao Wenhua long ago. Fortunately, Although her father did some wrong things in the past, at least he was fine now. Moreover, he was considered a responsible man. Compared to Zhao Wenshui, Zhao Wenhua was much better. Zhao Yun sighed slightly and urged Xiao Mao to follow the family Qin servants. Zhao Wenshui was her second uncle after all. She didn't want to care about him and let Zhao Wenshui learn his lesson and die outside. However, she was also afraid that Zhao Wenshui would really die. After all, Zhao Wenshui was a human life. Two villains suddenly appeared in Zhao Yun's heart. One of them asked her why she was so soft-hearted. Wouldn't it be better to let someone like Zhao Wenshui die? The other one said that no matter how much of an animal Zhao Wenshui was, he was still a human life. She had been a public servant in the 21st century for more than 10 years. She couldn't forget her original intention and watch others die. What was more important than the people in this world? No matter how bad Zhao Wenshui was, he didn't do many outrageous things. He was just a weirdo. In a dilemma, Zhao Yun decided to save Zhao Wenshui's life first for his father's sake. The servants of the Qin clan still followed Zhao Wenshui for a few hundred meters. When they arrived outside a market where there were not many people, they threw Zhao Wenshui onto the ground. Zhao Wenshui hadn't fully recovered from his injuries. After being thrown to the ground again, he lay on the ground and couldn't get up. However, the Zheng family servants didn't care about Zhao Wenshui's life. After throwing Zhao Wenshui to the ground, they warned Zhao Wenshui, "You'd better not go over there again. Otherwise, you will suffer. If you really don't want to live, go ahead and try. Don't blame others if you break an arm or a leg." Zhao Wenshui was frightened and didn't dare to say anything else. He couldn't say anything else and could only curse Zhao Jing and the Zheng family in his heart. In addition to feeling wronged, he also felt that his body was in great pain. He lay on the ground and wailed like a child. "This is too much of a bully. How can you do this to me? Woo-woo. My wife is gone, my daughter is ignoring me, and I have no money. How am I going to live my life? I might as well die today. Once and for all, I won't have so many problems in the future. God, what sin have I committed? Why are you doing this to me? Am I not pitiful enough now? You only know how to bully people. When will you stop bullying me? Woo-woo. Mother, it hurts. I can't get up. Mother, come and save me. Your son is dying." Zhao Yun, who was not far away, looked at Zhao Wenshui, crying so sadly, and was speechless. Chapter 22:16. Besides, today's incident was entirely his own fault. Who could he blame? If he hadn't gone looking for trouble, would he have suffered so much? Looking at Zhao Wenshui lying on the ground like a dead dog, Zhao Yun didn't have a trace of sympathy. She only felt that Zhao Wenshui deserved it. After this ordeal, presumably Zhao Wenshui wouldn't dare to cause trouble in the Zheng family in the future. Zhao Jing would be able to live a peaceful life for a while. Zhao Yun got off the donkey cart and walked toward Zhao Wenshui, who was crying on the ground with snot and tears. "Second uncle," Zhao Yun shouted. Zhao Wenshui looked up in surprise. He didn't expect Zhao Yun to be there. As an elder, he naturally felt embarrassed to cry like this in front of Zhao Yun, so he quickly wiped the tears from the corners of his eyes. At least he could save some face for himself. Then he asked Zhao Yun with some joy, "Yun girl, why are you here? You didn't leave me behind? I knew that, girl. You have a sharp tongue, but a soft heart. You would never abandon your second uncle." Zhao Yun rolled her eyes. "Second uncle, I just happened to pass by and saw you. I didn't mean anything else." Zhao Wenshui's heart suddenly sank. He asked weakly, "Then Yun girl, you don't care about me? You really don't want to take me back to the village?" Zhao Yun didn't say anything. Zhao Wenshui cried and complained to Zhao Yun with a begging face. "Yun girl, look at your second uncle being beaten up so pitifully. You have to take me back to the village. Otherwise, I won't be able to get up and will die on the streets." Zhao Yun replied impatiently, Okay, second uncle, stop talking. I'll take you back to the village, okay? I really admire Zhao Wenshui. I don't know who this man learned from. He's as long-winded as a woman. No, The women in this class were not as talkative as Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Yun'er gratefully. At this time, when he was at his most helpless, he thought that the person who helped him was his niece. Zhao Yun'er looked up and met Zhao Wenshui's eyes. His affectionate eyes made Zhao Yun'er shiver and quickly look away. Zhao Wenshui was moved to tears. He held Zhao Yun'er's hand and said, "Yun'er girl, you are really a filial child. If second uncle can save my life this time, it will be all thanks to you. In the future, second uncle will be very grateful to you and repay your kindness." Zhao Yun'er was a little uncomfortable with Zhao Wenshui's words. The corners of her mouth twitched a few times. "Second uncle, it's fine as long as you don't make trouble for me. I don't dare to ask for your repayment." Zhao Wenshui's heart was pierced by Zhao Yun'er's words, but it didn't stop him from being grateful to Zhao Yun'er. It wasn't easy to help Zhao Wenshui onto the donkey cart. Zhao Yun'er was so tired that she was sweating profusely. Zhao Wenshui lay weakly on the donkey cart. Because his muscles and bones were injured from the fall, he couldn't move his entire body. After a period of continuous injuries, the old injuries had not healed, and new injuries had appeared. It was even more difficult to recover. Zhao Wenshui almost lost his life. It seemed that in the following days, this second uncle of his would not have the energy to jump around and cause trouble. Zhao Wenshui reaped the consequences of his own actions. He couldn't blame anyone else. Originally, his family was fine. It was because he couldn't let go of his lust and couldn't control the thing that a complete family was broken. Chapter 22:17. Zhao Wenshui lay on Zhao Jin'er's donkey cart, feeling a little lost about the future. All his previous ideas were based on the money that Zhao Jin gave him. Now that this foundation was gone, all his previous ideas had to be dispelled. Spending money to buy a wife to take care of him was no longer a dream. In the future, it would be difficult for him to not starve to death and take care of himself and Zhao Qianyu. Although he still had some money left in his hands, and he was given some land when they separated from the family. But if he continued like this, he could only sit and eat. The money in his hands was spent very quickly, and it would be easily spent. Zhao Wenshui began to regret. What kind of bastard things had he done? If he hadn't separated from Li Chuiying, perhaps he could have endured. Now, he had a feeling that he wouldn't be able to endure until the end. The more Zhao Wenshui thought about it, the more he couldn't help but cry. Just like before, he cried very sadly. But before, in front of Zhao Yun'er, Zhao Wenshui didn't dare to cry. Now that he had put down his pride, he didn't care so much. Zhao Yun was very upset by Zhao Wenshui, but when she saw Zhao Wenshui's pitiful appearance, she couldn't tell Zhao Wenshui to shut up at this time. Could she? She was afraid that if she scolded Zhao Wenshui, he would feel more wronged, and then even more sad, crying even harder. Zhao Yun sighed and whispered to Zhao Wenshui's ear, "Second uncle, I don't know if I should say this." Zhao Wenshui wiped his nose and sobbed. "Yun'er girl, if you have something to say, just say it. Anyway, second uncle is already like this. What else is there to say? I can bear it." After Zhao Wenshui finished speaking, he touched his chest and waited for Zhao Yun'er to criticize him. Zhao Yun'er was slightly stunned. She felt that this kind of Zhao Wenshui made her a little uncomfortable. Why did he become a little different? Well, this kind of Zhao Wenshui didn't seem so annoying. Instead, it was cute. Zhao Yun'er felt that she must be hallucinating. She hurriedly cleared her throat and said, "Second uncle, if you knew this would happen, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. Everyone has to be responsible for their own actions. What you did today was your own doing, so you can't blame anyone. Crying wouldn't solve the problem. It could only be said to vent the emotions in her heart. You have to think about the future and think about what you should do in the future. He couldn't just live on in a daze. If I were you, I'd work hard in a down-to-earth manner." He still had a few mu of land in his hands. As long as he worked hard, he would definitely have enough food every year. At the very least, he wouldn't starve to death. If there was work to be done on weekdays, he could also work for others to earn money. If you can bear hardships and work hard, life will not treat you badly. Listening to Zhao Yun'er's words, it was the first time that Zhao Wenshui had heard these great principles. She didn't expect her niece to be so knowledgeable. She spoke so eloquently, as if she was talking to those gentlemen. Zhao Wenshui sobbed and asked Zhao Yun'er in a choked voice, "Last Yun'er, if I work hard in the future, will my life really become better?" Of course, second uncle. Look at me. Before I met the heir, I relied on my own efforts to earn a lot of money and live the life I have today. If I didn't work hard, would I have gotten those things for nothing? Zhao Yun'er raised her eyebrows and asked in return. Chapter 22:18. Zhao Yun'er's words ignited a glimmer of hope in his heart. He had never been as determined as he was now. "Yun'er, you're right. It seems like I have to work harder in the future." Zhao Wenshui stopped crying. He seemed to be saying this to Zhao Yun'er, but also to himself. Zhao Yun might feel that this was normal if someone else said it, but it felt out of place when it came from Zhao Wenshui. Could it be that Zhao Wenshui was enlightened after being beaten up? Could he be enlightened by a few words from her? It shouldn't be that easy. Zhao Yun'er wondered if Zhao Wenshui was just lamenting for a moment and would forget what she said after he recovered. It was rare for Zhao Wenshui to say something like this, so she couldn't possibly discourage him. The corners of Zhao Yun'er's mouth twitched slightly, and she asked, "Second uncle, are you stimulated? Have you thought it through and decided to work harder?" After asking this, Zhao Yun'er felt a little regretful. Was she too direct with her question? Fortunately, Zhao Wenshui's expression was as calm as usual. "Sigh, Yun'er, I'm not upset. I'm just lamenting why I'm still so miserable at my age. I didn't do anything that offended the heavens. How could the heavens treat me like this? Since I can't blame the heavens, can't I reflect on myself? Don't mention it. Thinking about what I've done, I'm just looking for trouble for myself. Now that I'm living such a hard life, there's no one around to take care of me. Isn't it all my own doing? Yun'er, I want to be like before too. How easy would it be to live shamelessly? In the past, there were people who cared about my shamelessness. Is there anyone who cares about me now? Who am I being shameless for? Previously, when I was injured, your grandmother took care of me. I was already despised enough. I'm really afraid that I won't be able to survive this time. Little girl Yun'er, do you think I'll die? If I can survive this time, I swear to the heavens that I will be a good person and turn over a new leaf." After listening to Zhao Wenshui's nagging, Zhao didn't interrupt Zhao Wenshui for the first time. Zhao Wenshui's way of thinking was indeed better than the average person's, but it was not too late for Zhao Wenshui to think it through and realize the mistakes of his actions. There was still a possibility of salvation. As the saying goes, a prodigal son turning over a new leaf is more precious than gold. It was not easy for him to turn over a new leaf, so he had to be given a chance. Zhao Yun'er patted Zhao Wenshui's shoulder and said to Zhao Wenshui, "Second uncle, as long as you don't live as muddle-headed as before and become a good person, our old Zhao family will definitely give you a chance." Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Yun'er with a touched expression. "Yun'er, only now did second uncle realize that you are the best niece." The corner of her mouth twitched. "Second uncle, I'm just telling the truth. You're my second uncle. I'm happy for you that you can turn over a new leaf." Sigh. Zhao Wenshui sighed heavily. Zhao Yun'er frowned and asked, "Second uncle, what's wrong with you?" Sigh. "Yun'er, why didn't I figure out earlier? If I had figured it out earlier, I wouldn't have been despised by the whole family. Your second aunt wouldn't have left me. Now that I'm divorced, I can't expect to marry another wife anyway. Your second aunt is also heartbroken by me. She definitely won't care about me anymore." Chapter 22:19. That's easy, second uncle. There's still a chance. What chance? Although second aunt's heart is broken, she's still worried about Tianyu. If you can really turn over a new leaf, as you said, and treat second aunt well, in my opinion, as long as you show your sincerity, second aunt will forgive you. Then, she will come back to the second branch and live with you. Zhao Wenshui's eyes lit up. "Yun'er, is it really possible for second aunt to come back?" "Yes, but this time, second uncle, if you only talk about it but don't put it into action and don't really treat second aunt well and let her feel your sincerity, then she might not be willing to come back with you. Zhao Wenshui nodded. That's good. I will definitely treat second aunt well and treat her well in the future. Zhao Yun'er nodded. Yes, that's good. On the way back, after Zhao Yun'er's advice, Zhao Wenshui felt that he had a new life to look forward to. He had to heal his injuries first. Once he recovered, he would go find Li Chuiying and ask Li Chuiying to come back and live with him. Then, he would work hard to earn money, like his third brother's family, and slowly make their lives prosperous. On the way back, Zhao Yun'er's mood was very complicated. She prayed that Zhao Wenshui could really straighten out his thinking and become a better person. At least this way, old Zhao's family would have one less weirdo and their lives would be much more peaceful. In less than half an hour, Zhao Yun'er returned to the village. Because Zhao Wenshui's injuries were too serious, she could only send Zhao Wenshui back to old Zhao's house first. As soon as she arrived at old Zhao's house, new things happened. In the courtyard, Shun Pan stood in the same place, wiping her tears with a handkerchief and crying to Feng Zhangxia. Mother, you know that gold hairpin was my dowry from my mother. It's very valuable. How could it be lost at home? I searched everywhere, but couldn't find it. Also, I remember that it was on the dressing table. How could it suddenly disappear? Feng Zhangxia was also anxious. Although the gold hairpin belonged to Shun Pan was her daughter-in-law. Shun Pan things belonged to the first branch. She had to know why it went missing. Pan, are you sure? You really can't find it? Feng Zhangxia asked with a frown. Shun Pan nodded. Mother, it's really not here. I checked it several times and was very sure of it before I told you. Feng Zhangxia was anxious and muttered to herself. Is it possible that someone stole it? Mother, I also think that someone stole it. Otherwise, my golden hairpin can't possibly grow legs and fly by itself, right? Feng Zhangxia lowered her eyes and said, but we don't usually have outsiders in our courtyard. If someone stole it, could it be that it was done by one of our own? How could that be? Our family is honest and clean. No one would do such a dirty thing. When the other members of old Zhao's family heard the commotion, they all gathered in the courtyard. It was a big deal that Shun Pan lost her gold hairpin because a gold hairpin could only be worth a few taels of silver. That much money was enough for a villager to live for a year. They had to treat it seriously. Chapter 22:20. Qian Hongzhao said, could it be that someone accidentally took Pan hairpin and forgot to return it, causing some sort of misunderstanding? That's possible. Did anyone go to Pan room? Did you see Pan golden hairpin? Zhao Baoshan asked the other people in the courtyard. Everyone shook their heads, indicating that they hadn't seen it. At this time, Hua Chunhua couldn't help but ask, hey, last night you showed me a golden hairpin to see if it looked good. Did that hairpin belong to Pana? After Hua Chunhua finished speaking, everyone in old Zhao's courtyard looked at Zhao Xinhui, thinking that Zhao Xinhui had taken it. When Zhao Xinhui saw these people's gazes, she felt that they suspected that she had stolen it. She was very unhappy. Mother, what are you saying? How could it belong to Pan? I'm not so shameless as to steal someone else's things. Zhao Xinhui replied a little angrily. However, old Zhao's people still looked at her with suspicion and sizing her up. Zhao Xinhui was a little angry. She directly took out the golden hairpin and showed it to these people, lest they doubt her character and say that she was a thief. Zhao Xinhui handed the golden hairpin to Shun Pan and asked Shun Pan girl, look at my golden hairpin. Is it your golden hairpin? Shun Pan shook her head. No. Zhao Xinhui snorted and said to the others, I already said it wasn't your golden hairpin, but you still stared at me. Do you believe me now? It's just a golden hairpin for a son. I have a lot of jewelry. I don't care about it, and I won't steal it. Zhao Baoshan originally thought that the thief was his daughter, Zhao Xinhui. Now that he knew that he had wronged her, he couldn't help but feel a little guilty towards Zhao Xinhui. Shun Pan's expression was a little awkward, but she still pulled her lips and flattered Zhao Xinhui. And he really doesn't care for it. Compared to it, Auntie's golden hairpin looks much better. Zhao Xinhui smirked and said proudly, "Of course, I bought this hairpin from the Jubao Pavilion for more than 10 taels of silver." When old Zhao's family heard this, they couldn't help but gasp. No wonder this golden hairpin was so beautiful. It turned out that it cost so much money. Hua Chunhua happily asked, "Where was this golden hairpin a gift from the Qin Yuan?" "Yes." The smile on Hua Chunhua's face deepened. "Aya, Qin Yuan is such an honest child. He's really good to you. Other things aside, the fact that they are willing to buy you such expensive jewelry as soon as they earn money shows that it is very rare." Zhao Xinhui nodded. "Mother, Qin Yuan is very good to me. You see, I'll definitely have a good life if I follow him." Hua Chunhua nodded heavily. Yes, that's good, that's good." Seeing that the topic had gone off track, Shinpan Er's lips twitched, and she quickly pulled the topic back. "Since we both said that we didn't take it, could it be that my golden hairpin was stolen by someone else?" Feng Zhangxia shook her head. "It's even more unlikely that it was someone else. Who would dare to come to our old Zhao's house so openly to steal things? If you ask me, I think we should search everyone's rooms first." Hua Chunhua was a little unhappy. "Eldest daughter-in-law, what do you mean by that? Are you suspecting our own family again?" Chapter 22-21. Hua Chunhua hurriedly cleared her name. "Eldest daughter-in-law, I didn't steal it, and neither did your youngest aunt. If you want to investigate, you should check who entered Pan Er's room and whether or not they took it away." After Hua Chunhua finished speaking, Feng Zhangxia said, "Mother, no one will admit to this. For the sake of fairness, everyone should search." Hua Chunhua was unwilling. No. I won't let you search my room anyway. It's just a gold hairpin. At my age, I wouldn't do such a thing." Qianzhozhi also said, "That's right, eldest sister-in-law. Searching is a bit too much. Think about who entered Pan Er's room first, or who in our family is more likely to do such a thing." After Qianzhozhi said this, Feng Zhangxia's eyes turned, and she patted her thigh and hurriedly said, "I know who stole it." Old Zhao's family members' gazes fell on Feng Zhangxia, and they all asked curiously, "Eldest sister-in-law, who stole it?" "That's right, who in our family is it? Who would do such a thing?" Feng Zhangxia said with a firm expression, "Who in our family would do such a thing? Who is the most shameless person in our family? Think about it carefully." After Feng Zhangxia said this, everyone was reminded. Currently, Zhao Wenshui was the only one in old Zhao's family who wasn't present. Usually, Zhao Wenshui was the only one who liked to do such shameless things. Unfortunately, Zhao Wenshui had something to do today, so he didn't ask. If Zhao Wenshui was present, he would definitely be able to interrogate him. Zhao Baoshan asked, "Where did second brother go today?" "I heard him say that he went to town." Feng Zhangxia was now even more certain that Zhao Wenshui was the one who stole it. "Father, the way I see it, Pan Er's golden hairpin was stolen by second brother. He's too unusual today. Why'd he come to town? I think he took Pan Er's golden hairpin to sell stolen goods and went to the pawn shop to exchange it for money," Feng Zhangxia said through gritted teeth. The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. This second brother of hers was really too much. Previously, he had touched her and was taught a lesson, yet he still didn't learn his lesson. Now, he stretched out his hand and had the idea of stealing things, acting like a thief. When Zhao Wenshui returned to old Zhao's house, he had to interrogate him and teach Zhao Wenshui a lesson. Otherwise, he would not be able to vent his anger. The other members of old Zhao's family also began to suspect Zhao Wenshui. After all, Feng Zhangxia was right. No one else in old Zhao's family would do such a thing, except for Zhao Wenshui. Hua Chunhua spat on the ground and angrily cursed. This second brother is too inhumane. He's already so old, yet he still doesn't know when to stop. How did I give birth to such a son? If something happens to him, my wife will never talk to him again. This kind of person is a scourge in this world, and he'll harm his own family. Zhao Baoshan had a serious expression on his face. He looked at Feng Zhangxia and Shunpan inside. After all, Zhao Shui was his son. As a father, he couldn't bear to steal things like this. He could only say that he didn't teach his son well in the past. It was the father's fault for not teaching his son well, so he had to bear a certain amount of responsibility. This time, Zhao Shui reached out to his own family. Who knew if Zhao Shui would become a habit of stealing things and steal things from other people in the future? Chapter 22. Eldest daughter-in-law. When second brother comes back, I will ask him clearly. If he really stole the hairpin and did such a sneaky thing, I will definitely punish him. Feng Zhongsha nodded in response. Father, as long as you don't side with our eldest branch, I won't complain. AI. Zhao Baoshan sighed heavily again. Thus, the family stood in the courtyard and waited for Zhao Shui to come back. At this time, Zhao Yun'er's carriage stopped outside old Zhao's courtyard, but these people didn't notice. Zhao Yun also heard their conversation just now. Zhao Shui, who was lying on the donkey cart, had a bitter expression. When Zhao Yun'er turned her head and looked at him suspiciously, Zhao Shui immediately cried out, Little Yun'er, you have to believe your second uncle. Your second uncle was indeed a bit absurd in the past, but I really didn't steal Pan Er's hairpin. Zhao Shui finally understood the feeling of being doubted and distrusted by the whole family. Now that he had fallen to this point, everyone thought he was a filthy person. Whenever something bad happened in the family, the first thing they would think of was him. This feeling wasn't good. Being doubted by everyone, Zhao Shui knew that even if he wanted to argue and explain, these people would still doubt him. If he hadn't done those things in the past, he wouldn't be doubted like this now. Zhao Shui looked at Zhao Yun'er's eyes and felt a bit wronged. However, Zhao Shui's eyes were very clear. Zhao Yun was in a daze for a moment and couldn't help but believe Zhao Shui's words. She believed that Shun Pan Er's hairpin wasn't stolen by Zhao Shui. However, there were only a few people in old Zhao's family, so the possibility of someone else stealing it wasn't high. Old Zhao's family members couldn't be blamed for looking at Zhao Shui suspiciously. After all, Zhao Shui had a criminal record. Zhao Shui repeated his words aggrievedly. He held Zhao Yun'er's hand and said sincerely, Yun'er, believe me, I really didn't steal it this time. Zhao Yun'er nodded and replied, Yes, second uncle, I believe you. It was the first time that Zhao Shui heard someone say this to him. He couldn't help but feel happy. He was almost moved to tears by Zhao Yun'er's words. He held Zhao Yun'er's hand excitedly and said to Zhao Yun'er, Yun'er, you are really a good child. However, second uncle didn't let you down this time. I really didn't steal Pan Er's hairpin. Zhao Yun'er sighed slightly. Second uncle, it's useless for me to believe you. You have to make the rest of old Zhao's family believe you. You have to show evidence to explain yourself. Otherwise, even if they can't find the hairpin on you, you will still think that you stole it. Zhao Shui suddenly felt like he was deflated. There was an indescribable sadness in his heart. However, he knew that Zhao Yun'er's words were reasonable. Zhao Yun'er cleared her throat and said helplessly, Second uncle, whether we go back sooner or later, we have to face it. Let's go back now. Okay. Zhao Shui responded helplessly. Zhao Yun'er drove Xiao Mao to old Zhao's house. As soon as they saw Zhao Shui lying on the donkey cart, they didn't care about Zhao Shui's injuries. They came up and asked Zhao Shui, Second brother, did you steal Pan Er's hairpin? Chapter 22-23. Zhao Baoshan was a little better, but he still thought it was Zhao Shui. He said to Zhao Shui, Second brother, explain this matter clearly. Did you have anything to do with Pan Er losing her golden hairpin? Zhao Shui, you bastard, did you do those sneaky things again? Hurry up and return Pan Er's hairpin, or else I'll skin you alive. Zhao Shui was so angry that he grabbed Zhao Shui's collar and said angrily to Zhao Shui. Zhao Shui was surrounded by old Zhao's people and couldn't take it anymore. At this moment, he felt even more sullen. If he did it, it would be fine. No matter what the consequences were, he deserved it. But this time, he really didn't do it, and these people treated him like this. It really made him feel bitterly disappointed. He did do ridiculous things before, but why didn't they give him an explanation? Why didn't they give him a chance to believe him? With Zhao Wenshi grabbing his collar, Zhao Wenshi felt a little breathless, and his body hurt terribly. "Big brother, be gentler, it hurts so much." Zhao Wenshi struggled. Zhao Yun saw Zhao Wenshi being beaten and felt a little sorry for Zhao Wenshi. She said to Zhao Wenshi, "Eldest uncle, second uncle is injured. You should be gentler. Otherwise, you'll have to take responsibility if something happens." Zhao Wenshi frowned. Only then did he notice that Zhao Wenshi's body was stained with blood. What happened to him? Hu Chunhua couldn't help but ask. Before Zhao Yun could answer, Feng Zhangxia snorted coldly. "Mother, do you still need to ask?" It must be that the heavens couldn't stand second brother's sneaky behavior and severely punished him. Zhao Wenshi added, "Yes, that's right. Second younger brother has done such beastly things. He will definitely be punished by the heavens." Who would have thought that retribution would come so quickly? The heavens have dealt with it for us first. Feng Zhangxia continued. "RD, quickly tell me the truth. Where did my pan or girl's fork go? Hand over the hairpin. Hurry up." Zhao Wenshi tightened his grip on Zhao Wenshi's collar. Zhao Wenshi felt like he was about to suffocate, and his body was about to fall apart. If this continued, he might lose his life. She replied in a weak voice, I really didn't. This is Pan Er's matter. It has nothing to do with me. No matter how bold I am, I wouldn't dare to enter Pan Er's room, let alone steal from her room." Second brother, you still don't want to admit it at this point. Are you still trying to quibble? Tell me, other than you, who else in our family could have said it? Feng Zhangxia angrily glared at Zhao Wenshi. She looked as if she wanted to eat Zhao Wenshi alive. "It wasn't me. I swear to the heavens that it really wasn't me. If I stole it, then I'll be struck by lightning and die a horrible death," Zhao Wenshi swore. People in ancient times were superstitious. They felt that if a curse was a lie, they would really be punished by the heavens. Therefore, most people definitely didn't dare to curse this kind of oath. But this time, Zhao Wenshi made it sound so serious. He even said that he would be struck by lightning. This oath was a bit too vicious. Old Zhao's family looked at Zhao Wenshi's sincere expression as he swore. It really didn't seem like he was lying. Could it be that Shun Pan Er's golden hairpin really wasn't stolen by Zhao Wenshi? Feng Zhangxia said in a deep voice, "Second younger brother, if it wasn't you, why did you go to town today? You obviously went to sell the stolen goods." Chapter 22-24. You said you didn't. Then explain why you went to town today. Yes, you must give a reason, or I won't spare you. Zhao Wenshi was frightened and hurriedly said, "I went to find Jinger today. I don't have a wife at home, and no one to serve me. Last time, I asked Jinger to give me money to buy a wife for me, but she didn't agree. This time, I went to the town to look for her, thinking that she would give me money if I visited her. Who knew that not only did the Zheng family refuse to give me money, but they also threw me out directly. Now, I'm injured all over. Big brother, sister-in-law, father, mother, can't you see my injuries? I'm not lying." Old Zhao's family reconsidered. Coupled with Zhao Wenshi's injuries, it seemed that Zhao Wenshi was telling the truth. Zhao Baoshan angrily reprimanded Zhao Wenshi. "Second brother, I told you not to ask Jinger for money, but you went to town to ask for money again. Don't you feel ashamed?" "Father, I know I was confused. I shouldn't have done it. I was wrong. I will never do it again," Zhao Wenshi promised. Seeing Zhao Wenshi admit his mistakes so quickly, Zhao Baoshan was a little uncomfortable. For a moment, he didn't know how to reprimand Zhao Wenshi. The first branch was still a little suspicious of Zhao Wenshi. "Second brother, other than your injuries, do you have any other proof? Who knows if you pawned my Pan Er's golden hairpin while you were at it? Sister-in-law, Yin can prove that she was the one who sent me to town today." Zhao Wenshi looked at Zhao Yin, and the first branch's eyes also fell on Zhao Yin. Zhao Yin nodded and replied, second uncle was indeed with me today. I didn't see him go to the pawn shop. He was doing something else. Zhao Wenshui hurriedly said, Big brother, sister-in-law, did you hear that? Yin'er is here to prove it to me. Old Zhao's family might not believe what other people said, but they believed what Zhao Yin'er said. Because Zhao Yin'er and Zhao Wenshui didn't have much of a friendship, and she didn't even get along well with Zhao Wenshui. It was impossible for her to speak up for Zhao Wenshui. Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshui were silent for a while. Then they said, that can't prove that you didn't steal it. We still have to check it carefully. Let's search your body first, then your house. If we can't find anything, then it means you didn't steal anything. Zhao Wenshui didn't object to this suggestion. Anyway, he really didn't do it. Even if Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshui searched him, they wouldn't find anything. It was a good opportunity to prove his innocence. Okay. Big brother, sister-in-law, then search my body first, then my house. As Zhao Wenshui spoke, he took Feng Zhangxia's hand and let Feng Zhangxia check his body. He didn't think too much. He was just impatient. In Feng Zhangxia's eyes, Zhao Wenshui was beastly and wanted to take advantage of her to hold her hand. Hence, her face darkened and she glared at Zhao Wenshui unhappily. Do you want to die? You just want to take advantage of people. Zhao Wenshui's face darkened. Zhao Wenshui, if you have such dirty thoughts again, I'll chop off your hand. Chapter 22-25. However, Zhao Wenshui was too lazy to listen to Zhao Wenshui's explanation. He felt that Zhao Wenshui was up to no good, so he scolded Zhao Wenshui. If you still don't behave at this time, I'll chop off your hand later. Let's see what else you can touch in the future. Zhao Wenshui felt very aggrieved. It was fine if he was scolded for having such intentions in the past, but why was he still scolded when he no longer had such intentions? Sob, he was too pitiful. Big brother, I really didn't do it on purpose, and I won't dare to do it again. Since sister-in-law can't search my body, big brother, you can do it. Hurry up and check. Although Zhao Wenshui was a little angry, he knew the purpose of today's visit. A pair of rough hands searched Zhao Wenshui's body. He searched his entire body, even his crotch, but he still couldn't find the golden hairpin. He originally thought that Zhao Wenshui had pawned the golden hairpin and exchanged it for silver, but Zhao Wenshui also didn't have any silver on him. Other than a few copper coins that he had brought with him, there was nothing else. Zhao Wenshui frowned, somewhat puzzled and suspicious. Could it be that this golden hairpin really wasn't stolen by Zhao Wenshui? Although he felt that Zhao Wenshui was the one who stole it, it was useless if he couldn't find it. Feng Zhangxia also asked with concern, Tianhu's father, did you find anything? Zhao Wenshui shook his head. No, how is that possible? Tianhu's father, search again and touch a few more times to see if second brother hid it somewhere. You have to search carefully and don't miss a single spot. Zhao Wenshui replied in a low voice. Didn't you see that I've already searched everywhere? I even touched his crotch a few times. Where else could he have hidden it? Zhao Wenshui's words made the women present pause, feeling a little embarrassed. Zhaoyan even tried to hold back her laughter. This man was touching another man's crotch. It was really interesting. Sob. No. She couldn't help but let her thoughts develop into a dirty place. Zhao Wenshui and Zhao Wenshui were blood brothers. What could happen between the two of them? Feng Zhangxia also coughed a few times in embarrassment. Since we can't find it on second brother's body, let's go to second brother's room to search. All right, let's go look in the house. Yeah. They went into Zhao Wenshui's room and rummaged through the cabinets, but they still didn't find anything. At this point, the first branch could no longer suspect Zhao Wenshui. Everything must be based on evidence. They did not have any evidence, so they could not find anything. Plus, Zhao Wenshui had sworn an oath, so they could not blame Zhao Wenshui. But to lose a golden hairpin for no reason, there must be a problem somewhere. Shun Pan's eyes flickered. She walked up to Feng Zhangxia and said, Mother, I don't think second uncle did this. Let's investigate who entered my room. Feng Zhangxia could only agree. Then we can only do that. If we still can't find anything, We have to report to Li Zheng that a thief broke into our village. Yeah. After Feng Zhangxia finished speaking, she asked who entered Shen Pan, Er's room yesterday and today. No matter what they did, they had to be searched. Normally, Old Zhao's family would not enter Shen Pan Er's room. Other than Feng Zhangxia, only Jin Ju stood up. Feng Zhangxia said, as her mother-in-law, I also have to be investigated. Fourth sister-in-law, help me search my room later. Chapter 22-26. As for Jin Ju, Feng Zhangxia asked curiously, Ju why did you go into Pan Er's room? Without waiting for Jin Ju to explain, Shun Pan spoke before Jin Ju. Mother, it's like this. Yesterday, I brought some pastries back from my in-law's house. Second sister-in-law was helping with this and that, so I had second sister-in-law go to my place to get a box of pastries. I also said a few words to second sister-in-law. At that time, I was also there. Second sister-in-law definitely didn't have the opportunity to steal my golden hairpin, so don't search second sister-in-law's room later. Seeing Shun Pan speak up for her and trust her so much, Jin Ju felt a little touched. However, Feng Zhangxia said, that won't do. Even if you believe me, you still have to search. Our old Zhao family only has so many people. Since the person who entered your room has to be searched, otherwise it's unfair to others. Jin Ju glanced at Feng Zhangxia, then at Shun Pan. She was already very touched that Shun Pan was willing to speak up for her. She couldn't make things difficult for Shun Pan because of this matter and cause more conflict between Shun Pan and Feng Zhangxia. Otherwise, she would always blame herself in the middle. Moreover, it was only a search of the room. It wasn't a big deal to tidy it up later. In any case, she didn't do such a sneaky thing. It was impossible to find Shun Pan's golden hairpin. If she didn't let others search her room, it would only make it more conspicuous. Eldest sister-in-law, it's fine. Just let mother and the others search my room. I'll tidy it up later. Shun Pan nodded apologetically. Thus, the people from the fourth branch entered the first branch's room to search the golden hairpin, while the people from the first branch entered Jin Ju's room to search. Not long after, Feng Zhangxia came out of Jin Ju's room with a gloomy face. She held a golden hairpin in her hand and brought it to Shun Pan to ask, Pan girl, is this golden hairpin yours? Shun Pan looked at the hairpin in Feng Zhangxia's hand and made a surprised expression. She covered her mouth and nodded in disbelief, then looked at Jin Ju. At the same time, Jin Ju was also stunned. How could this be? How could her mother have found a golden hairpin in her room? Did he make a mistake? She clearly didn't steal Shun Pan's hairpin, but she found it in her room. Everyone in old Zhao's family looked at Jin Ju. Jin Ju felt wronged, and her throat choked for a moment. With a gloomy face, Feng Zhangxia asked Jin Ju in a displeased tone, Little girl Ju, why don't you explain to me why this golden hairpin is in your room? Did you steal it? Usually, Feng Zhangxia was very gentle to Jin Ju. This was the first time she spoke to Jin Ju in such a strict tone. Jin Ju's heart tightened. She shook her head innocently at Feng Zhangxia and said, Mother, I didn't. I didn't steal sister-in-law's hairpin. It's not me. Zhao Xinhui, who was at the side, sneered, If it wasn't you, who else could it be? We've already found it in your house. What are you still trying to deny? He usually looked honest, but it turned out that it was all an act. How could he have the nerve to do such a sneaky thing? What kind of daughter-in-law did our old Zhao bring back? Eldest sister-in-law, Tianhu, there's something wrong with the way you two look at people. See, now you've seen it for yourself. Chapter 22-27. Zhao Xinhui had always disliked Jin Ju. Now that he caught Jin Ju committing a crime, he naturally scolded her. Feng Zhangxia listened to Zhao Xinhui's words and felt bitterly disappointed in Jin Ju. She used to like Jin Ju very much and thought that Jin Ju was a down-to-earth and honest child. She didn't expect that Jin Ju wasn't honest and actually did such a thing this time. Country people were most afraid of traitors. Jin Ju's behavior this time was really bad. If she hadn't personally searched Jin Ju's closet and found Shun Pan's Er's golden hairpin, she wouldn't have believed that her second daughter-in-law was such a person. Jinju panicked even more. It wasn't me. It really wasn't me. Mother, sister-in-law, you have to believe me. I didn't steal it. Even if I was there, I would never steal sister-in-law's things. Zhao Xinhui sneered, Little Jew, don't pretend. Why wouldn't you know how to do it? You're a country bumpkin. Pan, is the daughter of a rich family. How could you have seen such a good thing like a golden hairpin? In my opinion, you were blinded by greed and stole it. Jinju looked at the others and saw that old Zhao's family members were looking at her with disappointment and disdain. After all, the golden hairpin was found in her room, and she was the only one who went into Shun Pan Er's room yesterday. No one would believe her even if she explained that she didn't steal it. People always believed what they saw. This feeling of being doubted and unable to explain was very uncomfortable. Jinju couldn't figure it out. She clearly didn't steal it. How could Shun Pan Er's golden hairpin be in her room? This matter was too fishy. It wasn't me. Can you believe me? I don't envy sister-in-law's things. Although my family was poor before, I knew what to take and what not to take. Stealing is the most shameful thing. I'm not that shameless. Jinju's voice carried a hint of sobbing. She tried hard to hold back her tears. Zhao Tianhu looked at his wife's pitiful appearance and took a deep breath. He stood beside Jinju and said to old Zhao's family members, I believe that Jur didn't steal it. Jur isn't that kind of person. Even if you give her something, she'll find all sorts of excuses to reject it, let alone take it personally. Zhao Xinhui sneered. Tianhu, as the saying goes, you may know a person for a long time without understanding their true nature. Don't be fooled by Jur. She might be one person in front of you and another behind your back. Zhao Tianhu still shook his head and said firmly, No, Jur is not such a person. She's my wife. We have been together for a long time. I know her character. Seeing Zhao Tianhu firmly protecting her, Jinju was very touched. It didn't matter if others suspected her. What Jinju was most afraid of was that Zhao Tianhu would suspect her like everyone else. Fortunately, Zhao Tianhu did not disappoint her. Even if everyone did not believe her, he still stood by her side. Then tell me, what's with this golden hairpin? Why didn't they find it in other people's rooms, but in yours? If she didn't steal it, who else could have stolen it? Shun Pan also looked at Jinju with disappointment and said to Jinju, second sister-in-law, I treat you sincerely. How can you treat me like this? If you like my golden hairpin, you can tell me. At most, I will give it to you. But now you use such a dirty method. It's really disappointing. Chapter 22-28. Jinju's heart felt like it had been poked by something, and it hurt so much. With tears in her eyes, Jinju looked at Shun Pan sister-in-law. I really didn't do it. I don't understand why the golden hairpin would appear in my room, but please believe me, I won't do such a thing. Shun Pan sighed heavily. Second sister-in-law, I also want to believe you, but tell me, how can I believe you now? If you didn't steal it, would it grow legs and fly into your room? Why didn't it be found in other people's rooms, but in yours? Zhao Xinhui agreed. That's right, you still want to quibble at this point. Sister-in-law, you have to punish this kind of daughter-in-law, otherwise she will be lawless in the future and make our old Zhao family into a foul atmosphere. AI, it seems that I have to lock up my things properly in the future, lest you find a loophole. After all, it's hard to guard against a thief in the family. The most frightening thing is having your things stolen by someone in the family. Zhao Xinhui's humiliating words made Jinju feel ashamed. She was speechless, and all her excuses seemed pale and powerless. That's right. Who told the golden hairpin to be found in her room? Feng Zhangxia's brows sank deeply, and she sighed deeply. Alas, tell me, why did you steal Pan Er's golden hairpin? You have to be honest with me, otherwise I won't forgive you. Mother, I didn't do this. How can I explain it? I know everyone suspects me, but I swear to the heavens, this matter has nothing to do with me. Shun Pan pulled Feng Zhangxia's hand and said to her, Mother, let's just forget about this matter. After all, we are family. Second sister-in-law might have done this in a moment of confusion. So let's give her a chance, don't pursue it. How can that be? The act of stealing was too vile. How could he let it go so easily? Pan or lass, mother will give you an explanation. Feng Zhangxia questioned Jinju again. Jinju didn't do it. No matter how angry Feng Zhangxia was, Jinju still answered that she was innocent. Looking at Jinju's stubborn look, Feng Zhangxia was furious. What was wrong with our foresight back then? We didn't see through her and married such a daughter-in-law. God, how could you treat me like this? I thought I found an honest man, but in the end his hands and feet are not clean. How am I going to live in the future? Feng Zhangxia cried angrily, making Jinju even more embarrassed. Zhao Tianhu looked at his wife and felt very distressed. He said to Feng Zhangxia, Mother, just believe Ju this time. Don't you know Ju usual character? I also want to believe it, but Tianhu, tell Mother, did this golden hairpin grow legs and run into your room? Mother, Zhao Tianhu naturally didn't know, so he couldn't give a reason. But he believed that this matter absolutely had nothing to do with Jinju. Shun Pan, pulled Feng Zhangxia's hand and said, Mother, just listen to me. Forget it, don't pursue it anymore. It doesn't matter whether second sister-in-law stole it or not. The important thing is that the hairpin has been returned. At least it wasn't stolen by others, and we lost a lot of money. Chapter 22-29. Feng Zhangxia frowned and asked, Pan girl, do you have any other ideas? Mother, I think there is a need for us to split up now. What second sister-in-law did was a bit too much. If they continued to live together, who knew what would happen? Now that second brother has a family, it is fine to split up. This way, you won't have to worry about the future, right? Since second brother trusts second sister-in-law so much, I believe that they will be able to live a good life together. Hearing Shun Pan's words, the other members of old Zhao's family were stunned. How long had it been since the second branch had formed a family and they were already making a fuss about splitting up? This was definitely the first time in the village. Disregarding everything else, the other families would split up a long time after each branch had formed their own family. For example, when the third branch split up, a long time had passed and the children of the third branch had already grown up. However, there were very few families like Feng Zhangxia's who were making a fuss about splitting up. When Zhao Tianhu heard this, he looked at Shun Pan in disbelief. He never thought that Shun Pan would suggest splitting up. Wasn't her words confirming that Jinju had stolen something? When he thought about how his wife had been wronged by everyone, Zhao Tianhu felt even more indignant. The other members of old Zhao's family understood that splitting up now was not worth it for Zhao Tianhu. Usually, Zhao Tianhu did a lot of work and helped old Zhao's family and the first branch a lot. Zhao Tianlong was about to take the imperial examinations. Once he became a high-ranking official, wouldn't he be able to lead the first branch to live a good life? However, if they were to split up now, it would mean that Zhao Tianhu and Zhao Tianlong would have to live separately in the future. After Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official, he would be able to lead his family to live a good life. However, he would not be able to lead Zhao Tianhu. Then wouldn't all of Zhao Tianhu's previous contributions be wasted and he would not be able to reap any benefits? Feng Zhangxia was also thinking about this matter. She did not understand what was going on. Even if Jinju did something wrong, Zhao Tianhu was still her son. As a mother, she naturally didn't want her son to have a hard life in the future. Once Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official, the whole family would be able to enjoy life together. Seeing the conflicted look on Feng Zhangxia's face, Shun Pan felt a little anxious. Taking a deep breath, he pursed his lips and said to Feng Zhangxia, Mother, I know that it's not a good idea to talk about splitting the family now, but there's no other way. If they didn't separate, what would happen if second sister-in-law did this kind of thing in the future? I can forget about it this time, but next time, Jinju said anxiously to Shun Pan, Sister-in-law, there won't be a next time. I'm not a thief. I won't steal. Second sister-in-law, I also want to believe you, but before Shun Pan could finish speaking, Zhao Xinhui chimed in, Jur, who would dare to live with you like this? Then I think Pan is right, we should split up. Sister-in-law, don't hesitate anymore. Since this girl isn't being honest, then just ignore her. If we split up, at least we can have some peace and quiet. This, Feng Zhangxia frowned. Faced with the family's disbelief and overbearing attitude, Jinju felt very wronged. Thinking about how she was being disdained, she took a deep breath and said, Mother, since sister-in-law doesn't want to live with me, why don't we split up? Tianhu and I will live alone. Chapter 22:30. Feng Zhangxia sighed heavily. All right, since the two of you are willing, then let's split up. In the future, we won't have anything to do with you. You can do whatever you want. As for the theft of the golden hairpin today, since Pan doesn't pursue it, I won't pursue it either. This matter ends here. After Feng Zhangxia finished speaking, Zhao Wenshi felt helpless. He wanted to live a good life as a family. Sometimes, in the face of special circumstances, it was better to split up. Just like old Zhao's family in the past, when everyone split up, there would be fewer conflicts and disturbances, and their lives would be more comfortable. There was no need for them to make a fuss and be unable to live peacefully every day. Since Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshi agreed, the family naturally decided to split up. Feng Zhangxia took inventory of everything in the house, then gave the second branch's share to them. Shen Pan was generous. She didn't want the farmland and gave it all to the second branch. For Shen Pan, farmland was dispensable. In any case, the Shen family was rich and didn't care about 1 or 2 mu of farmland. Most importantly, she and Zhao Tianlong didn't know how to farm, so it was better to be generous and give it to the second branch to gain a good reputation. When Zhao Tianlong found out, he would probably praise her for being virtuous and treating his brothers well. Only those rural women who didn't have money on hand would haggle over every ounce. In addition, once Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official and went to live in the city, the family's farmland would naturally be sold. It was better to give it to the second branch as a favor. After receiving such a favor from the first branch, at least they wouldn't have to take advantage of others in the future. Otherwise, when the first branch became rich and the second branch wanted to trouble them, it wouldn't be good for them to refuse. Feng Zhangxia gave some of the money in the house to Zhao Tianhu, 2 or 300 copper coins. If it wasn't for Zhao Wenshi compensating them with more than 10 taels of silver, the first branch wouldn't have much money left. In the end, the second branch received a total of 2 or 300 copper coins, 2 mu of paddy fields, 1 mu of dry land, a house, some farming tools, and food. These things weren't little, so Zhao Tianhu and Jinju were very satisfied. As long as the two of them were hardworking and lived well, they would definitely be able to eat and wear well. They wouldn't starve to death. After separating from the family, they started to move their things. Jinju was in low spirits. She was still thinking about the golden hairpin. She really didn't know what was going on, but she couldn't prove her innocence. Seeing Jinju's worried look, Zhao Tianhu patted Jinju's shoulder and said softly, Ju, don't think too much. No matter how others don't believe you, as long as I believe you, it's fine. Now, the two of us should pack up and start a new life. Ju, as long as I'm here, I'll definitely take good care of you. You won't starve. The corner of Jinju's mouth pulled out a smile, as she nodded heavily in response. Yes, I know. Tianhu, it's good to have you. Silly girl, I'm your husband, so of course I have to treat you well. Yeah. Jinju's originally gloomy mood improved a lot. Since this matter could not be explained and could not be undone, then she would try her best not to think about it and slowly forget about it. Anyway, she really didn't steal it. As long as she had a clear conscience, it was fine. Old Zhao's house gradually quieted down. Those who needed to work went back to work, and those who needed to rest went back to rest. Shen Pan walked into the room with a victorious smile on her face. Chapter 22:31. As for the golden hairpin, she had secretly stuffed it into the second branch's wardrobe. Naturally, she couldn't force the second branch to separate from them, so she could only use such an extreme method. By framing Jinju for stealing, they could separate from the family and make Feng Zhangxia lo Jinju. At the very least, she wouldn't treat Jinju like before. Ever since Jinju married over, Feng Zhangxia had been especially good to her. This kind of kindness directly overshadowed the way she treated her, making Shun Pan feel very uncomfortable. Now that Feng Zhangxia lo Jinju, there would be a gap between the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. Then, Feng Zhangxia would treat her better in the future. Although it would hurt Jinju, she had to do it for her own sake. Now, she had achieved her goal and successfully separated from the family. She only hoped that Zhao Tianlong would come back soon. She really missed him too much. If it wasn't for Zhao Tianlong giving her something to look forward to, she wouldn't have been able to stay in old Zhao's home for even a day. Now that she had dealt with the second branch, she was in a very good mood. She couldn't help but smile. Zhao Yangyang looked at Shun Pan, Er's happy expression, and asked, "Mother, what made you so happy?" Shun Pan unnaturally wouldn't tell Zhao Yangyang the truth. She didn't want him to spread the news. "It's nothing. Mother just wanted to let you know that your father will be back soon." Shun Pan patted Zhao Yangyang's head and said with a gentle expression. Zhao Yangyang's eyes immediately lit up. "Mother, really? Father will be back soon?" Shun Pan nodded heavily. "Of course. How could Mother lie to you?" Good. Yangyang really misses Father. Mother also misses your father. Let's wait for your father to come back together." The mother and son acted out a warm scene in the room. Outside the room, Zhao Wenshui was still lying on Zhao Yun's donkey cart. No matter what, it wasn't easy for him to clear his name. Zhao Wenshui was in a good mood. Lying on the donkey cart, Zhao Yun called out, "Little Yun, second uncle was right? This time it really has nothing to do with second uncle. Second uncle is not a thief." Zhao Yun frowned, thinking about what happened today. She had interacted with Jinju before and knew Jinju's temperament. How could a person who didn't like to take advantage of others steal? She believed that she had not misjudged Jinju. This matter definitely had nothing to do with Jinju. But why was that? Why do you want to frame Jinju? What was his goal? Zhao Yun carefully recalled the words of the people in the courtyard just now. After some analysis, he felt that there was something suspicious about Shun Pan. There was definitely something wrong with this woman. If the reason why he tried so hard to frame Jinju was to separate from the family, this was understandable. Unfortunately, she didn't have any evidence, so she couldn't say that it was just a wild guess. As for Jinju, splitting up might not be a bad thing. Based on her understanding of Zhao Tianhu and Jinju, both of them were people who worked hard to live their lives. As long as they worked hard, they would definitely make their lives more and more beautiful. Little Yinner, why aren't you talking? What are you thinking? Why are you ignoring your second uncle? Zhao Wenshui pushed Zhao Yinner. Zhao Yinner pulled back from her thoughts. Chapter 22:32. Zhao Wenshui hurriedly responded. It would have been fine if Zhao Yun didn't mention it, but now that she did, he felt sore all over, as if his bones were about to fall apart. However, Zhao Yun couldn't move Zhao Wenshui by herself. After all, he was a man, and it was inconvenient for her to support him. Zhao Wenshui shouted at Zhao Wentao, who was in the courtyard. "Fourth brother, come here quickly. Help your second brother carry him into the house. Your second brother can't walk, and Yun can't move him." Seeing Zhao Wenshui's angry look, Zhao Wentao had no choice but to walk to Zhao Wenshui and carry Zhao Wenshui on his back. When Hui Chunhua saw this, she stood in the courtyard and shouted, "Fourth brother, don't carry him. Don't pay attention to him. Second brother is a troublemaker who likes to make trouble all day long. Look at what he has become. He has troubled his family. Let him fend for himself. Don't pay attention to him, even if he dies." Zhao Wentao was embarrassed for a moment. He couldn't advance or retreat. With a bitter face, Zhao Wenshui looked at Hui Chunhua pitifully. "Mother, I'm your son. How can you be so cruel as to watch me die?" Hui Chunhua snorted coldly. "Who told you to cause trouble? Even if you die, I will still be able to live in peace." Hua Chunhua's cruel words pierced Zhao Wenshui's heart like a needle. It was fine if others disliked him, but this year his mother also disliked him. He really couldn't bear it. Why was it like this? How much of a failure did he have to be like this? However, at the same time, Zhao Wenshui faced up to the absurdity of his previous behavior and made up his mind to turn over a new leaf. Only in this way would he not be abandoned by his friends and family for the rest of his life. He would not grow old alone or die alone. Zhao Wenshui sobbed and said to Hua Chunhua, "Then I realized that I did a lot of ridiculous things before, but from today on I won't do it again, and I won't make trouble for you and our family." Hua Chunhua and Zhao Wenshui were slightly startled. Zhao Yin'er had thought so before. They couldn't believe that Zhao Wenshui would say such a thing. Hua Chunhua stared at Zhao Wenshui suspiciously, then muttered, "I say, number 2, what kind of trick are you up to? Is your brain okay?" Zhao Wenshui's mouth twitched. Then he said seriously, "Mother, of course my brain is fine. It's clear. I just suddenly realized that I have to be a good person in the future." Hua Chunhua frowned. "Second brother, don't fool an old woman like me. I know what kind of person you are. Who would believe you when you say that you've turned over a new leaf? In my opinion, you'll be back to square one in a few days." "Mother, it's not easy for second brother to say such a thing. Let's give second brother a chance," Zhao Wentao, who had been silent all this time, said. If a muddle-headed person could realize that his behavior was wrong and wanted to turn over a new leaf, it meant that he had already taken the first step. As for whether he could succeed in the future, that would depend on his persistence. At least it was better than him not recognizing his own shortcomings. Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Wentao, touched. He held Zhao Wentao's hand and said, "Fourth brother, you're so good. Your second brother's good brother. Second brother won't let you down." Zhao Wentao returned a smile. "Second brother, as long as you're willing to change, there's still a chance. We're family, so you don't have to be so polite." Chapter 2233. Hua Chunhua's eyes turned, and her heart softened at this moment. No matter what, Zhao Wenshui was her son, a piece of flesh that fell from her body. Others could ignore the hardships of carrying Zhao Wenshui for 10 months, but as a mother, it was difficult for her to completely let go of Zhao Wenshui. Hua Chunhua sighed. "All right then, I'll give second brother this opportunity. I hope he can really recognize himself, turn over a new leaf, and be a good person. Don't play tricks." "Mother, how can that be? I will definitely change," Zhao Wenshui said sincerely, and the smile on his face was no longer as wretched as before. Instead, there was a sense of naivety. Zhao Wentao then sent Zhao Wenshui into the house and went to invite Dr. Sun over for Zhao Wenshui. This time, Zhao Wenshui was so seriously injured because he had just recovered from his previous injury and suffered a heavy impact again. However, it was not a big deal. As long as he lay on the bed and rested for a while, he would be fine. Seeing that Dr. Sun said it was not a big deal and that there was no need to prescribe medicine, Zhao Wenshui and Hua Chunhua both breathed a sigh of relief. After all, the cost of medicine was too expensive. It would cost a lot of money to just casually grab some medicine, which was a huge expense for the villagers. If it was in the past, Zhao Wenshui felt that it was okay to spend all the money. At worst, he could just ask Zhao Jing for money in the future. Now that he could not count on the Zheng family, he naturally had to save up the remaining money in his hands. If he had to live on, he had to be careful with his spending. Otherwise, that little money would not be able to last long. After confirming that Zhao Wenshui was fine, Zhao Yin'er also breathed a sigh of relief. Since Zhao Wenshui had decided to turn over a new leaf, he had to have the fate to change. Fortunately, the heavens were merciful and did not let Zhao Wenshui suffer any serious injuries. After dealing with Zhao Wenshui's matter, Zhao Yin'er saw Jin Ju and Zhao Tianhu moving things because of the separation, so she walked over and wanted to help them. When Jin Ju saw Zhao Yin'er coming over, she felt a little embarrassed. "Yin'er, everyone thinks I'm a thief and doesn't want to talk to me. Why did you take the initiative to talk to me?" Zhao Yin'er smiled and said, because I believe that you didn't steal it. I know you're not that kind of person. Zhao Yun, words were like a warm current that flowed into Jin Ju's heart. Jin Ju had never been so touched before. It turned out that other than Zhao Tianhu, there were still people who were willing to believe in her and stand on her side. This feeling of being trusted was really good. Yinner. Jin Ju choked with sobs and called Zhao Yun'er's name. She looked at Zhao Yun'er with a touched expression. Thank you. After a while, Jin Ju spat out these words with difficulty. Zhao Yun'er's smile deepened. She patted Jin Ju's shoulder and said, Second sister-in-law, what are you thanking me for? You didn't steal it. I believe you should. Those who don't believe you definitely don't understand you. In fact, you don't have to pay attention to those people. Just be yourself and have a clear conscience. Yes, yes. Jin Ju nodded heavily. Chapter 2234. Jin Ju returned a smile and did not decline Zhao Yun'er pretentiously. She still let Zhao Yun'er help. After working for more than an hour, they finally finished. After finishing here, Zhao Yun'er hurried Xiao Mao back to her home. Her family members thought that something had happened to her and did not come back until now. Zhao Yun told them everything that had happened today. After listening to Zhao Yun'er's words, the people in the third branch could not help but sigh. So many things had happened. Most of them sighed about Zhao Tianhu's separation from the family. After saying a few words, Zhao Yun was brought into the kitchen to work. Tian clung to Liang Jinxiao and insisted on being hugged by Liang Jinxiao. As a result, Liang Jinxiao could not help Zhao Yun'er in the kitchen. There were a lot of dishes cooked at noon. Zhao Yun'er was always a little tired working alone. Mu Yinfeng was free, so he went into the kitchen to help Zhao Yun'er. Looking at Mu Yinfeng wearing a brocade robe, which was incomparably luxurious, he looked like a noble young master. Zhao Yun'er pushed Mu Yinfeng out. Why did you run into the kitchen like this? You're covered in oil and smoke. It's not good to dirty your clothes. Yun'er, it's okay. How can the clothes be dirty just like that? How about this? I'll stay a little further away and help you with the fire. This way, I won't get any oil on my body. Otherwise, how would you be able to cook and light the fire all by yourself? Zhao Yun'er frowned and was still a little reluctant. However, Mu Yinfeng ignored Zhao Yun'er's objection and sat in front of the stove. He picked up the branches on the ground and stuffed them in. Zhao Yun'er shook her head helplessly. Forget it. Since this guy can't stay idle, then let him be busy. Mu Yinfeng stuffed wood into the stove, and the wood creaked as he did so. Mu Yinfeng looked at Zhao Yun'er, who was busy in front of the stove. She was wearing coarse clothes. Because of the steam rising from the pot, Zhao Yun'er's forehead was soaked with a layer of sweat. Mu Yinfeng's heart couldn't help but ache. Looking at the hard-working Zhao Yun'er, Mu Yinfeng couldn't help but smile. This Yun'er was really beautiful. Although she didn't have a devastatingly beautiful appearance, her beauty gave off a different kind of feeling. This woman had an indescribable charm that was different from other women. That was why she was so attractive. As if feeling Mu Yinfeng's burning gaze, Zhao Yun'er turned her head and glanced at Mu Yinfeng. Why are you looking at me? Zhao Yun'er asked curiously. I'm looking at my wife. I just can't get enough of you. I want to look at you more. This guy, he started to learn how to be glib. Zhao Yun'er pretended to be angry and glared at Mu Yinfeng. Hurry up and focus on the fire. Don't be distracted. Okay. The corners of Mu Yinfeng's lips curled up into a doting smile. Suddenly, the burning wood in the stove jumped out with a creak sound. The fire directly jumped onto Mu Yinfeng's brocade clothes. So much so that Mu Yinfeng's thigh was burned with a big hole. Mu Yinfeng was stunned. Fortunately, Zhao Yun'er reacted in time and quickly pulled Mu Yinfeng up, and the fire fell to the ground. Zhao Yun'er glanced at the place where Mu Yinfeng's clothes were burned. She coughed awkwardly, and her face turned red. Chapter 2235. Although she wasn't the kind of woman with strong desires, she was still a normal woman. Occasionally, it was necessary to have a couple's life to adjust the relationship between husband and wife. If Mu Yinfeng's thing was really damaged, what would happen to her happiness for the rest of her life? Mu Yinfeng was obviously dumbfounded. He looked down at his lower body in a daze and mumbled, What the hell is going on? The sparks are jumping out. Sigh. If I had known this would happen, I wouldn't have let you do this. This is too risky. What if something happens? Zhao Yuner muttered. She looked uncertainly at the place where Mu Yinfeng's clothes were burned. She almost reached out to touch it. Mu Yinfeng, feel it yourself. Does it hurt? Did you get burned? Zhao Yuner asked worriedly. Mu Yinfeng shook his head. It doesn't hurt. I didn't burn my body. It's just that my clothes are burned. Zhao Yuner patted her chest. That's good. That's good. Mu Yinfeng, don't help me light the fire. What if you get burned again? The sparks like to jump around. Mu Yinfeng was also a little shaken. He wanted to persist, but how could he persist in his current embarrassed state? Okay, Yuner, I'll go change my clothes. Can you handle it alone? Of course I can. Go quickly. Change your clothes and put them on the bed. I'll make up for it after dinner. Okay. Mu Yinfeng nodded helplessly. He looked at his lower body in embarrassment and then rushed out of the kitchen. Because the place burned by the sparks was too embarrassing, Mu Yinfeng was afraid that others would see it. He quickened his pace and rushed into the room. Zhao Yuner quickly prepared the meal. The family sat together and ate happily. Because the day of Zhao Tianan's wedding was getting closer and closer, everyone in the third branch was immersed in a kind of joy. After 2 months, Feng Zhangxia's belly had begun to show. In a few more months, the little brother or sister in her belly would be born. After lunch, everyone went back to their rooms to rest for a while. Zhao Yuner remembered that Mu Yinfeng's clothes still needed to be mended, so she took out a needle and thread. Mu Yinfeng's brocade robe was made of high-quality material. It was a pity that there were so many big holes. Although she could still wear it after mending it, it was still better not to have it broken. Zhao Yuner felt some regret in her heart, but Mu Yinfeng did not show any signs of distress. Zhao Yuner sighed slightly. A big shot was a big shot. She had seen a lot of good things since she was young. Naturally, she didn't care about this little thing. Mu Yinfeng's bedding pants were also burned with a big hole, right at the place where his genitals were. Zhao Yuner took Mu Yinfeng's bedding pants and mended it. As she sewed, she felt that something was wrong, so she glanced at Mu Yinfeng's lower part. However, this time, Mu Yinfeng was wearing clothes, so she didn't see anything. Seeing Zhao Yuner's strange reaction, Mu Yinfeng couldn't help but ask, Yuner, what are you looking at? Zhao Yuner thought about it and said what was in her heart. Mu Yinfeng, look at the big hole in your bedding pants. It's been burned to this extent. Is your lower part really okay? Is it really not burned? There's no reason. It's impossible that the bedding pants have such a big hole, but that thing is still intact, right? Chapter 2236. Mu Yinfeng smiled bitterly and met Zhao Yuner's curious eyes. Then he said to Zhao Yuner, Yuner, I'm really fine. Don't worry about me. When Mu Yinfeng said this, Zhao Yuner couldn't help but wonder if there was something wrong with this guy. He was afraid that she would be worried, so he deliberately hid it from her. Mu Yinfeng, are you really okay? If you have something wrong, you have to say in time. It's not too late to ask Dr. Sun to come over now. If you delay and miss the best time for treatment, it might really be serious. Mu Yinfeng saw that Zhao Yuner said with a serious face, as if something really happened to him. He smiled helplessly at Zhao Yuner. Yuner, I'm really fine. If you don't believe me, how about this? You can touch it or take a look. Then you'll know if I'm lying. Zhao Yuner's face suddenly turned red. Why did it feel like Mu Yinfeng was teasing her? Let her look at his lower body or touch his lower body. How could that be? She just didn't dare to think about it. I don't want to look or touch. Pervert. Zhao Yuner scolded in a low voice. Mu Yinfeng saw that Zhao Yuner's face was red, so he couldn't continue to joke. Yuner, I just want you to believe that I'm really fine. That's the only way. Otherwise, let's try it tonight. Then, you'll know if there's anything wrong with my lower body. Mu Yinfeng whispered in Zhao Yuner's ear. The breath he exhaled had a flirtatious smell, which tickled Zhao Yuner's ear. Only then did Zhao Yun'er believe that Mu Yinfeng was really fine. The atmosphere between the two of them warmed up a little. She quickly moved her butt to the side, keeping a safe distance from Mu Yinfeng. After all, it was broad daylight now. It wouldn't be good if they got into a fight and did that kind of thing. Zhao Yun'er lowered her head and sewed Mu Yinfeng's clothes, while Mu Yinfeng looked at Zhao Yun'er dotingly. For Mu Yinfeng, this kind of life was a kind of happiness. But when he thought that he might leave soon, Mu Yinfeng was even more reluctant to part with Zhao Yun'er. After telling this matter, he didn't tell Zhao Yun'er, "I have something to discuss with you. I have something to discuss with you." "What's the matter?" "There's a riot at the border. His Majesty might send me to station troops there to resolve the unrest there. Although I don't know when they will set off, the person who will be sent should be me." After hearing Mu Yinfeng's words, Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but stop what she was doing. Border? Wasn't that a very far place? How long would Mu Yinfeng be gone? When would he come back? It wasn't easy for the family to spend some happy days together. Was Mu Yinfeng leaving so soon? Seeing that Zhao Yun'er didn't say anything and lowered her head, Mu Yinfeng knew that Zhao Yun'er didn't want to believe. "Ai, Yun'er, you know that His Majesty doesn't have many officials who could be put in important positions. Otherwise, how could this kind of thing fall on my head? If I had a choice, I definitely wouldn't go. I just want to protect you and Daodu. I want to protect our family and live together." Mu Yinfeng's tone was full of helplessness. It was like this in this era. Even if Mu Yinfeng had a noble status, as an official, he would still be restrained. Could he not listen to His Majesty's orders? Obviously not. Chapter 2237. This was the helplessness of this era, forcing them to do things they didn't want to do. Compared to everything they were enjoying now, it was normal for them to have more responsibilities. Compared to the commoners who didn't have enough to eat, those people would probably do their best to listen to the emperor's arrangements if they were given the chance to live a carefree life. Since that's the case, you have no choice but to do it. Zhao Yun said to Mu Yinfeng without a trace of blame in her tone. Mu Yinfeng was very touched. He thought that Zhao Yun'er would blame him, or at least make a scene to express her dissatisfaction. He didn't expect Zhao Yun'er's reaction to be so normal. She could completely understand him. "Yun'er, thank you." Mu Yinfeng held Zhao Yun'er's hand and said emotionally. Zhao Yun'er smiled. "What are you thanking me for? Did you think that I would be unhappy and stop you from going? Am I such an unreasonable person?" "No, Yun'er, you're the best girl." Mu Yinfeng grinned. "Ai, actually, Daodu and I have nothing to do at home. It's pretty good at home. You can eat whatever you want, and we can take care of each other as a family. But you're going to the frontier fortress alone. What are you going to do on such a long journey? Can you take care of yourself by yourself?" "Yun'er, I can do it. Don't worry about me." Seeing that Zhao Yun was worried about him, Mu Yinfeng's heart felt warm. "Okay, come back early after you finish the mission. Don't delay, okay?" Yes, of course." After he finished the mission, he would definitely be anxious to return early and wouldn't be delayed on the road. Just as the two of them were talking, there was a commotion outside. It seemed to be the sound of an argument. Zhao Yun'er frowned. Usually, no one would come here. Who was it that came to the door? Mu Yinfeng stood up. "Yun'er, I'll go take a look." Zhao Yun'er also stood up and said, "I'll go take a look too. Let's go together." With that, Zhao Yun'er put down the needlework in her hands. When the two of them left the house and went to the courtyard, they found that it was the Mu family. Leading the group was Old Lady Mu, followed by Mulan's father, Mu Dade, and Mulan's stepmother, Luo, too. Old Lady Mu's saliva flew everywhere as she shouted, "My granddaughter is married. So what's wrong with me asking for money? He had raised such a daughter for nothing. He couldn't possibly let her marry someone else for nothing, right? No matter what, you have to send some money as a gift. Otherwise, our Mu family will not agree to this marriage." Mulan stood in front of Old Lady Mu. She frowned and said to Old Lady Mu with a displeased expression, "Grandmother, what are you doing? How could they be so shameless and still have the nerve to come over and ask for money? Back then, I almost sold Sheen, and it was I who used money to redeem her from you. Now that she's married, even though I was the one who arranged the wedding, it should be me who receives the money as a gift. When did it become your turn to come here? Hurry up and leave. Don't make a fuss here. As Mulan spoke, she was somewhat displeased as she chased them away. Zhao Yun'er listened for a while and understood what was going on. The Mu family had probably heard the news that Mu Hin was going to marry over, so they came over hoping that their Zhao family would give them some money as a gift. It was normal for families to give money as a gift when they were getting married. If Mu Hin had not experienced those things back then, their Zhao family would definitely give some money when Zhao Tianan married Mu Hin. Chapter 2238. Now, Mu Hin's only family members were Mulan and her family. Giving Mulan money as a gift was enough. As for giving it to the Zhao family, it was purely a waste. Why should they benefit from a family that would even sell their daughter for money? In addition, Mulan had indeed spent money to save Mu Hin, so she had severed ties with the Mu family. No matter what, the Mu family had not been kind enough to ask for money this time. Mulan, what are you talking about? You little b asterisk tch? No matter what, I'm your grandmother and your father is still around. You two girls are your parents' children. Now that Mu Hin is getting married, her family won't get a single cent as a gift. Does this count? Anyway, I don't care. If their family doesn't take out the money today, they can forget about the wedding. I'll say it here. Don't give them a chance. Don't blame us when they screw up the wedding. Old Lady Mu put her hands on her hips and continued to spit out as she spoke righteously. Mulan was so angry that her chest hurt from Old Lady Mu's anger. She had seen shameless people, but she had never seen such shameless people. When she thought about how these shameless people had given birth to her and raised her, Mulan felt that she could not accept it. Dade, what are you standing there for? Don't you know how to speak? Hurry up and say a few words to your daughter. Old Lady Mu commanded Mu Dade. Only then did Mu Dade step forward a little embarrassedly. However, unlike Old Lady Mu, he negotiated with Mulan nicely. Your grandmother's words are not without reason. Marriage is decided by the elders. You and Sheen are both my children. Now that she's married, no matter what, she can't cast me aside as her father, right? At least give some money as a token of appreciation. Sigh. You don't know that our family's life is not easy now. I heard that Sheen's future in-laws are very rich. Just look at how big their house is, and you can tell that their family is definitely not lacking in money. Since that's the case, there's no harm in letting them take out some betrothal gifts. Since he's rich, he can't be unwilling to part with such a small amount of money, right? Luo Tsiu, who was standing beside Mu Dade, chimed in, That's right. The money here must be given to the maternal family. In my opinion, the in-laws are so rich. The 20 taels that mother asked them to give seems to be too little. In my opinion, it should be at least 50 taels. Old Lady Mu coughed lightly. Of course, the more the better. Who dislikes you for giving too much? Mulan's face darkened when she heard the Mu family's words. Just how thick-skinned were these people? Instead of saying that they were here to ask for gifts, it was better to say that they were here to rob. For a normal family, a few taels of silver would be enough as a betrothal gift for their daughter. How could they ask for so much money? Mulan couldn't control herself and directly scolded. 50 taels? Why don't you go and rob them? They would probably be able to snatch it faster. Although the Zhao family was rich, there was no need for them to reject their own money, right? Giving it to you for free? Haha, dream on. Not to mention 20 taels, even 50 taels, don't expect to get a single cent today. Bah! Each and every one of you is shameless. What did you do in the past? You actually have a nerve to come here today. I think you didn't learn your lesson last time. Do you want to come here again today? Faced with Mulan's threat, the Mu family was naturally afraid, but they couldn't bear to part with so much money. Chapter 2239. It's right and proper to ask for money when marrying off a daughter. How are we robbing? Mulan, it's not like I'm asking you for money. Why are you calling me in such a hurry? Now, we just want to ask the Zhao family Do they still miss our daughter? If they don't give us money, we'll take Mu-hin back and not marry off. Old Lady Mu raised her chin in an overbearing manner. Mulan spat on the ground. Bah, I'll see if you're done. I spent that money and you chased Exine away. It has nothing to do with you. To be honest, the Zhao family has already given me money. If you have the ability, you could take it back from me. You. Old Lady Mu pointed at Mulan angrily. Who would have thought that Mulan, who was originally very gentle, would become like a shrew and not listen to reason at all? Dade, look at the good daughter you've raised. How does she turn out like this? Dade frowned and then discussed with Mulan. You're just an older sister. It's against the rules to give you money as a gift. Quickly take it out and let us take it back. We won't fuss over your rude behavior to your grandmother today. Mulan sneered. It sounded as if he was afraid that they would fuss over it. Father, how is it against the rules? From a day you planned to sell Xin, you're no longer worthy of being her father. Since she's already left the Mu family and lived with me for so long, she's naturally cut off all ties with the Mu family. I gave you money back then, and now I'm only taking it as repayment. I still have to buy some dowry for Xin. You want to take it back? Fine. They gave you 10 taels as a gift. But Xin's dowry must be at least 8 taels. There's still 2 taels left. I'll give you 2 taels. But I gave you 5 taels back then. You have to return the 5 taels I gave you, right? After Mulan's careful calculation, not only did the Mu family not get any benefits, but they also had to fork out 3 taels of silver to give to Mulan. How could they be willing? Old Madame Lin was in disbelief. The Zhao family is so rich, but they only gave him 10 taels? I say, Mulan girl, do you think I'm an old fool who's trying to scare me? Mulan smirked. So what if he's rich? Was 10 taels of silver too little? Grandma, I would like to ask, how many of my cousins received 10 taels of silver as a gift when they got married? I don't think so, right? At most, it would be 6 taels. Our family seems to have added 2 taels of dowry. In the entire village, there aren't many families who would give their daughters 10 taels of silver as a gift. Therefore, the Zhao family has already given Xin 10 taels of silver as a gift. What's there to be picky about? Old Lady Mu's back was turned, and she was speechless for a moment. Luo Tsuyu watched from the side and sighed inwardly. This girl's eloquence was amazing. Normal people really couldn't win against her. Anyway, 10 taels of silver is too little. We came all the way here today, so we have to take out some money as a token of appreciation, right? I don't want 50 taels, but 10 or 20 taels must be given. Otherwise, don't blame us for causing trouble on Mu-hin's wedding day. For such a joyous day, like a wedding, it would indeed affect the mood if something were to happen. It wouldn't be good if something that was supposed to be joyous became unhappy. Chapter 2240. Zhao Yun frowned, thinking about how to deal with this kind of scoundrel. Mulan and Mu-hin had such a family, it was really troublesome. Zhao Yun was very clear that if she satisfied the Mu family's request now, she would really give them 10 taels of silver as a wedding gift in order to keep the peace. If the Mu family became pampered and spoiled, they might come to the third branch to make a fuss and ask for money when they were short of money. So there were some things that one could not take the first step. Once one took the first step, one would lose. When the time comes, I'm afraid that you won't have the life to make a fuss. Zhao Yun's cold voice sounded. She had a smile on her face, but it was so cold that it made people tremble with fear. The Mu family looked at Zhao Yun, not understanding the meaning of Zhao Yun's words. What are you going to do? Are you trying to scare us? Old Lady Mu asked angrily. Zhao Yun shook her head. I'm not going to do anything, but once you do, you will definitely not have a good ending. When the time comes, I will make the wedding go smoothly, and no one will be able to ruin it. The Mu family did not understand Zhao Yun's words, but they still shouted arrogantly. If you don't give us the money now, we will make a fuss when the time comes. We will bring Xin home and see how you're going to make the wedding go smoothly. Zhao Yun smiled. Since you know that the Zhao family is rich, do you know why we are rich? Why? Because we have connections with the officials. Look, this is the current heir apparent. With him around, when the time comes, he will send some people to arrest you if you make a fuss. Zhao Yun was said and pointed at Mu Lianfeng. Mu Lianfeng could not help but want to laugh. Yin'er was smarter than before. She knew how to use his identity to intimidate people. Sure enough, the Mu family was stunned and seemed a little scared. Looking at Mu Lianfeng's dressing and temperament, he did not seem like an ordinary person. Saying that he was the heir of the crown prince, Luo Tu muttered, "He's the heir apparent? Are we supposed to believe whatever you say? Who can prove it? Why don't you go and ask around? Everyone in our village knows." Old Lady Mu was afraid, but at the same time, her heart was filled with unwillingness. What's wrong with the heir? Why should he be in charge of our daughter's gift money? Isn't that unreasonable? Zhao Yun smiled again. I forgot to tell you that our county's deputy district magistrate will also come. If you make trouble, you can make things clear in front of the deputy district magistrate. I'd like to ask the county magistrate if there's anyone like you who would sell off their daughter and wait for her to get married before asking for money as a gift. The arrogance of the members of the Mu family was reduced a little when they heard the name of the deputy magistrate. The deputy county magistrate was in charge of these trivial matters. Yang City forbade human trafficking in the open. Usually, such transactions were done in secret. Those who were caught would be punished. When they sold Mu Hin and complained to the deputy district magistrate, how could they get away with it? Why did the Zhao family have so many fans? Not only did they have connections with the current Shitsi, but they also had connections with the people of the county deputy. They were definitely not ordinary farmers. Luo Tsuyu came to old Lady Mu and asked her weakly, "Mother, do you think what this girl said is true? Will the deputy district magistrate come here? How could she be so influential?" Chapter 2241. Mother, what if they're just trying to trick us? Are we just going to forget about the gift money? We spent a lot of effort to come here today. We can't go back empty-handed, right? Luo Tsuyu was unwilling to give up. The Mu family was so poor that they couldn't live on. If she could get some money back, she could at least improve her life and ask the Mu family to buy more meat for her. After not eating meat for a few days, she felt terrible. She always felt uncomfortable and unhappy. But what if they're telling the truth? Are we going to give up our lives for money? What if we're thrown into jail by the county magistrate? That's equivalent to losing our lives. My dad doesn't even have a son. How can we let him get into trouble? Old Lady Mu voiced out her worries. No matter what, life was more important than anything else. Seeing Zhao Yun'er's serious expression, it didn't seem like she was lying. Mu Dade was a timid person. He tugged at Old Lady Mu's sleeve and said, "Mother, why don't we just let it go? We don't have to sacrifice ourselves for a bit of money. They have the support of the heir presumptive and the county magistrate. How can we fight them? Aren't we just asking for trouble?" Old Lady Mu glanced at Mu Dade and saw through his thoughts. She scolded him softly. "Useless thing. How did I give birth to such a timid son?" Although she was also worried, she wasn't as nervous as Mu Dade. Mu Dade lowered his head and accepted the scolding. He didn't dare to talk back to Old Lady Mu. He was just expressing his thoughts. Why was he being scolded again for no reason? "Mother, what do we do now?" Luo Tsuyu frowned and asked. "Wait a minute. Let me think." Seeing that Old Lady Mu wanted to cause trouble again, Mu Lan couldn't stand it anymore and warned her, "Grandmother, don't think that they're bluffing. They're telling the truth. Don't let yourself suffer when you don't get any benefits. There's a good saying that citizens don't fight with officials. Unless you don't want your life, you can try and see who will suffer in the end." Zhao Yun also smiled and said to the Mu family, "Today, I'm not giving you a single cent. Hurry up and get lost. If you're not satisfied, you can come and make trouble on that day." The Mu family was unwilling to leave just like that. When they met Zhao Yun'er's cold eyes, they wanted to retreat. At this moment, Xiao Hei came out of the house at the right time and jumped in front of Zhao Yun'er. Then, he bared his fangs and barked at the Mu family. Originally, the Mu family didn't want to leave, but when they saw Blackie's to leave. Old Lady Mu scolded Mulan. "You damned girl. Hurry up and help us drive this damn dog away." Mulan sneered. "Grandmother, how can I help you? It's not my dog." Besides, dogs can't be reasoned with. After all, they can't understand human language. I can't help you even if I want to. You. Old Lady Moo's face darkened. On one hand, she was angry with Mulan. On the other hand, she was afraid of Little Blackie. Luo Tzu saw how fierce Little Blackie was and quickly hid behind Mudaid. Even if Little Blackie rushed over to bite, it would bite Mudaid first and not her. Mudaid was so scared that his legs trembled. He said to Old Lady Moo in a trembling voice, "Mother, let's hurry up and leave. It's not worth it to be bitten by a dog. You only have so little guts." Chapter 2242. Old Lady Moo ran away in fright. This damn dog really bit her. Normally, a dog's bark was just to scare people. She had met many dogs at her age, but she did not expect Zhao Yun'er's dog to really bite people. Fortunately, Old Lady Moo ran quickly, or else Little Black would have bitten her leg. At this moment, Little Black was biting Old Lady Moo's pant leg. Old Lady Moo was so frightened that she quickly retracted her leg, but Little Black still refused to let go. Old Lady Moo was so frightened that she hurriedly called out to Moo Dade, "Dade, hurry, hurry, and save Mother. Chase this damn dog away." Moo Dade laughed even harder. His legs trembled as he said to Old Lady Moo from afar, "Mother, I want to save you, but I don't dare to. I'm scared of dogs." As Moo Dade spoke, he pushed Luo Tsuyu aside and said, "Wife, hurry and save Mother. I'm scared." Luo Tsuyu glared at Moo Dade fiercely and scolded him. "Moo Dade, you heartless thing. You're scared, but I'm not. I'm your wife. How dare you push me away? Is your mother more important than me? I've slept with you for so many days, and I even want to give birth to your son. If anything happens to me, do you expect your mother to sleep with you at her age and give birth to your son?" Luo Tsuyu was anxious, so she spoke shamelessly. Everyone who heard her secretly shook their heads. Zhao Yun felt that the saying "birds of feather flock together" was accurate. Even if the Mu family's weirdos married another wife, it would be a stupid woman like Luo Tsuyu. Moo Dade was speechless. He looked at Old Lady Moo and then at Luo Tsuyu, his face conflicted. To him, his mother was very important, but his wife was also important. Just as Luo Tsuyu said, if he lost his wife, who would sleep with him and give birth to his son? Moo Dade sighed heavily. He could only blame himself for being useless. He was afraid of everything and could not protect his mother or his wife. "You two useless, heartless things." Old Lady Moo gloomily glared at Moo Dade and Luo Tsuyu. Old Lady Moo could only kick her legs and continue to pull from Xiaohei's mouth. Blackie whimpered a few times and suddenly let go of Old Lady Moo. Old Lady Moo used too much strength and lost her balance, falling directly to the ground. Ouch! The moment Old Lady Moo fell to the ground, she let out a miserable cry. She was already old and couldn't stand the torment. After such a heavy fall, he felt that his legs were about to break, especially the area around her pelvis. It felt as if it had cracked. It was so painful that she grimaced and broke out in cold sweat. Old Lady Moo waved at Moo Dade and said, "Quick, come here and pull me up." "All right," Moo Dade responded. Just as he was about to help the old lady up, Xiaohei turned around and bared his fangs at Luo Tsuyu. Luo Tsuyu's heart suddenly tightened. She was so frightened that she wanted to run away, but Xiaohei had already caught up and bit Luo Tsuyu's but without hesitation. Luo Tsuyu screamed even more miserably than Old Lady Moo. Xiaohei's bite almost bit off a piece of flesh from her, but seeing Xiaohei's awe-inspiring manner of teaching a weirdo a lesson, Zhao Yun'er felt great. Compared to moving his mouth, it seemed that Little Black's way of directly biting people was more satisfying and also more frightening. Chapter 2243. Dade, save me. Hurry and help me get this damn dog away. I'm going to die from the pain. Luo Tsuyu instructed Moo Dade. Old Lady Moo stopped Moo Dade and said, "Brat, I'm your mother. Help me up first. My bones are going to break at this age." Dade, if you don't save me, I'm going to be bitten to death by this damn dog. Let's see where you can find a wife later. Luo, Suiyu shouted. Mu Dade was conflicted for a while. He felt that his wife was the most important. So he rushed towards Luo, Suiyu. Although he was a little timid, he was using his last bit of courage to chase Little Black away for his wife. Old Lady Mu suddenly understood. So this was how her son, whom she had raised painstakingly, treated her. He was so smitten by a woman that he didn't even care about his own mother. Why did she still worry about him every day? Now she only felt her heart turn cold. It was an indescribable pain. Zhao Yun was afraid that someone would die. She raised her voice and said, "Are you going to scram now? If you scram, I'll let you go. If you don't, I'll let you go and continue biting." The Mu family members were so frightened that they replied without hesitation, "Scram, scram, we'll scram now." Seeing that the Mu family members were obedient, Zhao Yuner waved at Little Black. "All right, Little Black, stop biting. That's enough." When Little Black heard Zhao Yuner's call, he wagged his tail and ran towards Zhao Yuner. Zhao Yuner had a faint smile on her face. It was indeed a dog with intelligence. No matter how fierce Little Black was to others, he was just a cute dog in front of her. At this moment, the Mu family members didn't know how Zhao Yuner felt. If they knew that Zhao Yuner praised Little Black for being cute, they would definitely refute. How was this dog cute? It was clearly a dead dog, a vicious dog. They had never seen a dog so fierce that it would bite anyone it saw. Now that Little Black was so fierce, they didn't dare to continue causing trouble. Even though they were unwilling, they could only choose to leave. Old Lady Mu and Luo Suiyu were both seriously injured. They couldn't walk and relied on Mu Dade alone. Seeing that Mu Dade was more concerned about Luo Suiyu, Old Lady Mu felt uncomfortable. She pointed at Mu Dade and scolded, "You heartless thing. I gave birth to you, raised you, and took care of you for so long. Do you only remember this stinky woman who just got married? You don't even care about your own mother?" Mu Dade's face revealed a trace of embarrassment. "Mother, how could that be? It's just that you can sit on the ground for a while, but Chuiyu is being chased by that dog. If I don't help her, won't I be bitten to death?" Old Lady Mu was still glaring at Mu Dade with a pair of gloomy eyes. All right, don't talk about this with me. Why didn't you come to help me when I was being chased by that dog? You've forgotten your mother after marrying a wife. You don't have a conscience." Mulan watched the scene from the side and laughed in her heart. Old Lady Mu deserved it. Her father was even willing to sell his own daughter. What was his own mother to him? Rather than caring about Luo Tsiyu, he cared more about his son. After all, Luo Tsiyu could only give birth to a son for him. Otherwise, where would his son come from? Good karma was a cycle of reincarnation. Now that it was Old Lady Mu's turn, it really made people secretly happy. Mother, Mu Dade was not good with words. He didn't know how to defend himself now. Chapter 2244. Thinking about the 2 times she came to Shui Lan village, she was only looking for trouble for herself. Old Lady Mu felt aggrieved. Last time, her head was broken by Mulan, and she still had headaches from time to time. This time, she almost broke her bones because of dog. If she wasn't lucky, she might have been bedridden for the rest of her life. Mu Dade spent a lot of effort to pull Old Lady Mu up from the ground. "Mother, are you okay?" Mu Dade asked with concern. Old Lady Mu snorted. "Okay, how can I be okay? When you reach my age, you could try to fall and see if you can break all your bones." "Mother, can you walk? It's such a long way. How can we go back?" Mu Dade started to worry. Old Lady Mu frowned. The 2 villages were separated by quite a distance. If they walked back normally, it would just be a little tiring. But now that she had fallen, she was afraid that her body would hurt badly if she walked a few steps. She couldn't stay in Shui Lan village, even if she didn't walk. She had to go back. "Help me walk slowly. If you can't walk, then rest. We'll walk back eventually," Old Lady Mu said after thinking for a while. Mu Dade was in a difficult position. "Mother, Suiyu's butt and thigh were bitten by a dog. She can't walk. I have to carry her back and support you. How can I do that? How can I carry both of you?" Old Lady Mu glanced at Luo Tsiyu. This damned woman let his son carry her. Wouldn't she crush his son? Dade, what are you talking about? Even without me, your woman is so heavy. Can you carry her? How long can you walk with her on your back? Mu Dade looked troubled as he nodded and replied, Mother, I know, but what can I do? So you really can't walk. We can't just leave her here, right? Old Lady Mu spat. That woman is so pretentious. She has so much meat on her body. So what if she's bitten? How can she not be able to walk? I can walk away now. At most, we could just bear with it. Anyway, you can't carry it. Don't break your bones when the time comes. If that happens, none of us will have a good time. Luo Tiu said to Old Lady Mu with a bitter face, Mother, I'm not pretentious. I really can't walk. Why don't you think of a way? It's impossible for us to walk back. Zhao Yun'er looked at the three people who couldn't leave because they couldn't stay in his house. She was really bored. He then said to the three of them, If you want to leave, there are many ways. Our village has an ox cart. It costs 30 copper coins per trip. At most, you can rent an ox cart and go back. Mu Dade listened to Zhao Yun'er's words and felt that it was very good. Mother, I think this method is good. Why don't we rent an ox cart to go back? Otherwise, we can't walk at all. Old Lady Mu, on the other hand, was distressed about the 30 copper coins. Today, she didn't get a single copper coin and suffered a lot. She couldn't possibly pay more now, could she? He couldn't accept it. Go my ass. 2. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.